Why they're running easy, you know. They're running easy upon the up. They're running easy upon the upper Jamaica. Everybody's not easy on the up. Welcome, guys. Welcome. How you guys doing? Hope all is well. Turn this on. Share this. We're gonna get into it. The criminal Narra bill has been passed, ladies and gentlemen. But the conversation must be maintained. We have to have the conversation around, you know, the implications. Lorna, how you doing? Celine. Celine, what happened? Celine, them pass the criminal Narra bill, you know. You don't know that. Open and follow what go on, you know. Yeah, man, them pass the criminal Narra bill, man. But before me go into what more I go into here, so ladies and gentlemen. Gloria, hi, how you doing? Of course, I believe it's a crime. I believe anybody that supported the Narra bill is a criminal. That's what I believe. That's my belief. I really authentically believe that. Understand? Yes. I want to invite you guys to make sure you watch the video uploads. Rosalie McLean said, I thought it was sent back to the lower house. Well, what I'm looking at in the article here, in the Gleaner, is that it has been passed. That's what I'm looking at, so I have to go off the news. You know, I try to make sure that we do that. Senate approves Narra bill amid continued oversight concerns. You understand? They have approved it. Yes. Marathon sitting that ended 8:15 p.m. The opposition did not call for a divide, which would have allowed for the recording individual notes. Yes, so you know what I mean? That's the situation, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to briefly say this before I play. We're going to listen to this video here. I'm going to briefly say this before I listen to this because it's important. This video here. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. This is true. I have stated several times on several occasions that I believe that if you cannot listen to me there, there's gonna be an echo to the thing. No man, you can hear it, the hallway, the effect, you're gonna hear it. So several times, ladies and gentlemen, I have oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll speak until this thing starts. Several times I have come out and I have made my argument, Gloria and Rosalie, in regards to the People's National Party and the differences, the glaring differences between the two political parties. I don't think it's a conversation. This is like somebody saying that, you know, Bolt is not the fastest man alive and him and Asafa is the same type of athlete. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. You understand what I'm saying? I do understand historically in the past there has been, you know, certain situations that would have people not trust both political parties. I get it, I understand, it's okay. We know this. And I also agree that there are situations right now where persons are close to other individuals. Sorry about that. Where persons are close to other individuals on both sides. But when you are in a working environment, you are gonna have you're seeing each other every day. It's inevitable that persons are going to have some type of relationship. You don't expect that they're supposed to be at odds. Some of the relationships have been, long-standing relationships, all of that good stuff. But to say that they are the same in terms of the entirety of the two parties, I can't see it. I can't see it. I just too much things that the PNP has done that they did not have to do. And if they had done differently, I would have said that yes, both political parties really are the same. I would have to agree. The NITS is a big one. The NITS. If both political parties was the same, the NITS would have been passed in its unconstitutional form. And it was passed in its unconstitutional form. And what did the PNP do? They went to the constitutional court. That right there for me tells me that these two parties are not the same. They don't see eye to eye, ladies and gentlemen, on how the country should be run. One breaks the constitution and the other upholds the constitution. And I think that is a glaring enough thing for you to see easily that they are not the same. Let's listen to this. Yes, Jacob people. So we have Mr. Lambert Brown. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. The super chat is available, the PayPal is available, all that is filled in the comment section. All right, let's get into it.
Senator Brown, it's coming around. You don't need it. Senator Brown, you're recognized. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, the days of the mail soon are over, man. Mr. President, it has been a long day. It has also been a divisive day. One would have thought that, given the importance to the other side of this bill, that we'll be trying to reach across the aisles, find grounds on which we could agree and move forward. But instead, some cursing and things. So let me start by saying Senator Tomlinson authorized me to say publicly that he made some remarks about Senator Rose Bennett Cooper, and that he regret those remarks, and that he has actually sent you a note to that effect, apologizing. And that's the action of a decent man who recognize that in the heat of the moment, comments may be made, even in jest, but the reality is.
So that they can chat to Simon about Angela Brown Burke. What Angela Brown Burke have to, unlike the Speaker of the House. How about that?
You regret what was said to you. In another attempt to find some common ground, Mr. President, I would like, on behalf of all the male senators, on that side and on this side, to wish all the mothers of the Senate Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Oh, when it comes to me, I said, why is everybody saying Mother's? It's not Mother's Day yet. I'm like, what the hell going on, man?
I wish to extend that on our behalf to all the staff of the Parliament who are mothers as well.
Big up all our mother them,
And that goes to the technical people who come here and to the security forces who protect us. So
and listen, me tell you, I'm at painstaking to say this. I don't even celebrate my own birthday anymore. So these days and these holidays, I think all of them are linked to some pagan type of practice. So I don't celebrate any of them. You understand? If you really look back at all of them have every holiday have some type of significance to a pagan holiday, especially if it comes from the Europeans. So yeah, I'm sorry. Who vex? I don't recognize.
All the mothers. In fact, to all the mothers of Jamaica,
Big up all I mother them every day, not one day, every day.
Mr. President, having gotten out that part of which just come and go, let me borrow from Senator Bennett. Lest we forget, there's a lot we shouldn't forget.
Double tap the screen, my side. Double tap the screen.
Flawed.
Double tap the screen.
It is also, and I note, that civil society, probably 40 different civil, probably 40 different organizations have expressed reservation of one sort or another in respect to the bill. I hope that at least the government will recognize their views, as well as the fact that the opposition has no problem with a vehicle for dealing with recovery. But there are areas in which we disagree. And a proposal was made. Let me make it clear one of the reasons why people are disagreeing with aspects of the bill.
Listen to this.
Senator Brown, engage your other mic. Engage.
So young Barrett like go.
Yeah, that's good, that's good.
Cool, yeah. A week or so ago, in the midst of this debate about this bill, I sent a message to Dr. Monroe. And I said, do you remember the book entitled Constitutional Decolonization, the Case of Jamaica, 1940s to 62? Dr. Monroe, you have to leave that guy alone. Leave him alone. Alan, you leave him alone. Alan, leave him alone. Alan, don't. Just let me deal with it. So, Dr. Monroe, a Rhodes Scholar, wrote that as his thesis. And he published it. And it has been the foundation of many first-year students in politics at the university. In that book, which I read way back in the 70s, Monroe warned of the possibility, and that's the central thesis of the book, the possibility of a prime minister dictatorship. And I believe that fundamentally, the concern of citizens is that this bill goes too far and heads in the direction of a prime ministerial
Exactly.
And I'm very clear, President, that when they're in opposition, they don't like the awesome powers that our Constitution gives to a prime minister.
Yeah.
So much so that when they were in opposition recently, they wanted to take away the power of the prime minister to fix the election date. And when they came to power, having promised to have fixed election date, they resigned from it.
Lest we forget, Lammy, we forget.
The Joint Select Committee, of which we are called for, can be time-bound, can meet our. They don't like the awesome powers that our Constitution gives to a prime minister. So much so that when they were in opposition recently, they wanted to take away the power of the prime minister to fix the election date, to set the election date. And when they came to power having promised to have fixed election date, they resigned from it. Lest we forget.
Who remember that? Who remember that? Play it again. Let them hear.
When they're in opposition, they don't like the awesome powers that our Constitution gives to a prime minister. So much so that when they were in opposition recently, they wanted to take away the power of the prime minister to fix the election date, to set the election date. And when they came to power having promised to have fixed election date, they resigned from it.
They are hypocrites. Because they weren't in power, they have a problem with it. But when they're in power, yes, they like it. They are hypocrites. Extreme hypocrites.
Lest we forget. The Joint Select Committee, of which we are called for, can be time-bound, can meet regularly, including on weekends, and need not be meeting only in this chamber. Senator Gale and I sat on the BOJ, and credit to Minister then, Nigel Clark. We went on Saturday. We went during Christmas. And we got the BOJ bill ready. It's about the leadership. Many of the giants in the committee, which Senator Sinclair speak, for example, they have a meeting now, another one a month, 2 months down the line. It's about leadership. It's about priority. And the opposition is committed. Is committed to a quick turnaround.
We can't play that. We have a different agenda to them. We don't play that. I'm not listening to it all now. Sorry.
It can be done quickly. It can improve the democracy. It gets us harmony in legislation.
I'm curious.
It reduces confusion. It reduces uncertainty. And it makes better bills. So I stand on the need for the Joint Select Committee. The government says this bill is urgent. And I laugh. Because if it was urgent, there would be a date set for it to come into operation.
Yep.
Because that's how we take bills now. We have bills with date for it to come into operation, or date to be appointed by the minister. If this was urgent, would say 1st of June, 1st of July. But no, it is for a date to be set by the minister. So to our Senator Raman Small Ferguson pointed out, there's a dissolution date. So it's clear that the intention of this is for it to be a permanent arrangement under the guise of having a sunset clause. Because sunset comes, and we know when it comes. But here, there is no specific time for the sunset clause. So the urgency is not an answer for why we're not having the fullest approach of opening this bill to the public and to the parliamentary discourse outside of the way we're doing it today. We'll have a better bill, I believe. Also, President, Clause 27 requires that the minister, after consultation with the authority, may make regulations for the implementation of the bill. Minister, is the regulations ready? Are they available? Will this be another case where, like the Road Traffic Act, we pass legislation, or the Building, or the Disability Act, and the regulation take a long time to follow, which nullify the argument that there's an urgency in this bill. So, President, the last time the urgency argument was used here, Senator Scott Markley pointed it out, 2017. 2017. President, it was so urgent you couldn't delay a couple of hours. 9 years has passed. 9 years has passed. Where is NITS today? Where is NITS today? That was so urgent in 2017. So, I am not moved.
Hey, Mr. Lambert, gonna make one dagger argument that's still about urgency, you know. Because of that, them bank them whole thing pan. Oh, it's urgent. 6 months past, brother, what kind of urgent? If you want to do urgent, you know, that deal with certain things already. And then Donald Scott Martin made the point about, Darrell Vaz dealt with urgency using his emergency power. So it has nothing to do with urgency. Oh my God, bro. Mark Golden is the shredder. But these people out here moving like I don't know what type of machine that is. They evaporating this bill out of existence. You feel me? It's all you need a microscope to look and see any any parts of it. Totally destroying the bill. My God.
I'm not moved by the fanciful comments on the other side. The truth is, at my age, I have heard a lot of what was said today and how great it's going to be. I hear them in election time and fanciful promises. President, let's be clear. When my friend, Senator Duncan, spoke and said all of these things that will happen because of this legislation, I said to myself, hold on there. Where did I hear this before? And I remember Michael Leach telling us 5 in 4.
Yes.
I remember the Prime Minister's speech that he gave, where is he? About economic council.
Yes.
Economic
Yes.
ambassador.
Yes.
So we're going to grow the economy.
Lord
I've
have
heard it
mercy.
before. I told the previous Prime Ministers utter these things before. So, I'm not optimistic.
Not
The
at
only thing I
all.
say, my friend, Senator Duncan, is this. Having heard you today, having heard Michael Leachin, the question is, who do I believe? And the answer is none of them.
None of them.
The
None
proof
of
of the
them.
pudding is in the doing.
That is it.
And until you do it, there'll be no applause from the side.
That's
Mr.
right.
President, as I indicated, this bill is about creating a new architecture of governance. One which will move away
Sorry.
from the current architecture which contains guardrails against abuse, against corruption, and to create an architecture which is divide of the guardrails. Divide of the guardrails. And therefore, open the country to abuse which you have seen before. They are essentially, with this new architecture, going back to the 60s. I remember Senator Smart Ferguson,
Never tell a lie.
Jamaica borrowed a lot of money to build secondary schools. And President, the schools, the body was there. We were told the schools were built, Minister Hill. But one of the schools couldn't be found.
What?
No, not us. Arthur Burke.
Oh my God.
Arthur Burke was the Minister of State responsible for the project. A commission of inquiry was set up, Mr. President.
Yes.
Commission of inquiry was set up. And Arthur Burke refused to appear before the commission of inquiry, preferring to pay the fine. And then he left Jamaica.
Wow.
And so condemned was he. That he never returned to the
Wow.
country.
Wow.
He died. And he never even came back for his own funeral.
Wow. That's crazy.
Never even come back for his own funeral.
That's
Brown.
crazy.
You know, Mr. Brown. You know the school that they said this. Listen, the school that them said disappeared
You give him
in
back
St.
to
Thomas. Yeah, I can give you back the
Thank
time.
you.
The school that they said disappeared in St. Thomas was actually built in Michael Mandy's constituency in Central Kingston.
We can go
Ask Trevor
for the
Ask
report.
Trevor.
We can go for the commission of inquiry report.
Yes.
We can go for the commission of inquiry report.
Yes, we
But
can
the
go
man
for
never
it.
even come back.
That tell you everything we need to know.
My personal view
That's it.
that this new
See the man disappear.
legislation
Hold on.
amounts to a case of
Yo, for the man disappear and never come back to Jamaica, that tell you the shame that was brought. That he knew that was on him. And died in overseas and never come back here. Come on, man, stop playing.
flying the gate and letting the pirates. It's piracy we're looking at.
Of course.
We're looking at piracy to
Of
come.
course. Straight up. Straight up.
And so,
Teeth in.
President,
1 minute, Senator Brown. 1 minute,
Yes,
1 minute, Senator Brown. Senator Sinclair.
That comment, point about it, because that comment is casting aspersions on the persons who are passing the bill. You can identify persons. Right now you can identify the 12 of us sitting here. So you are casting an aspersion to say that we are conspiring with persons who are pirates.
No, I think Senator Sinclair.
What is it?
I think that's a bit thin skin. And I know that is a PNP campaign song that they say fly the gate and let it the pirate.
The passing the gate, letting the pirate. That's what he said, you know.
But you said that we are not Jamaicans.
Mr. President, I continue, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. You said that we are not Jamaicans. A man that have a birth rate. Man, shut up. Sit down. Because we the people of Jamaica soon as pirate. Nobody has to cast no aspersions from.
That's facts.
Nobody
That's
will do it
facts.
all by yourself.
That's fact.
I say it on this platform and many times. Anybody that pass this bill or agree with this bill, I consider you a criminal. That is my opinion of you. You and I'm entitled to it. Best believe. Let's continue.
Yep.
Thin skin barriers.
First your microphone. Send it up.
To address the issue of the idea that this bill will allow at some point the possibility of a step-in order. And the minister chose to bring to the Senate a building permit which she applied for in November 2024 for Narra Primary, a school my daughter went to. And to say it was only granted last April. I took my phone up and something I'd recommend to journalists to do, to call the other side.
Yeah.
Call the municipality. Talk to the mayor.
This is
And I did.
embarrassing. This is
The first thing the
embarrassing.
mayor said to me last
Listen to
Friday
this.
is that, Lammy, the land was in dispute. He said that the land was not belonging to the school, nor to the Ministry of Education. That there was concern that church wanted to claim it, the Citizen Association wanted to claim it. He recommended that they bring in the lands agency to assist in resolving it. And I've seen the minutes of the parish council, of the municipal council, showing the times they discussed this issue from February 2025, a few months after the application was made, until it was resolved. I made the point, President, because Portmore, a place I have lived since 1977, has shown has shown significant growth.
We back.
Have shown significant growth. In fact, I make bold to say, if you should measure per capita income per municipality, that Portmore is likely to have the highest per capita income. I go further to say that as you drive through Portmore, you see a parish, not a parish, a municipality that in the last couple of years, St. Duncan has doubled, if not tripled, its size, which tells us that that municipality have been working and have been churning out building permits in time to facilitate development.
Hi, Vion.
Minister, I believe we are going.
Another excellent point, another practical point by Senator Lambert. You're witnessing experience here, ladies and gentlemen. He had to be the man to close this debate.
Minister,
For the
Minister,
PNP.
I believe we are going to have some talks, but I believe you owe the municipality an apology. And I urge the media to go and speak with the municipality. Mr. President, time is short. And I want to say, clause 25, clause 1A of 25, sets at 15 million US. Bench limit, no less than that. It's that minimum, a floor. But clause 25.3 give the minister the day after the authority comes into being the power to change that by order, not by ordinary legislation which come here and we can amend it, but by order. And I'm going to move for the deletion of that clause. Because if we as a Senate and as parliamentarian, if we are self-respecting parliamentarian, we wouldn't put that clause there, having just approved the 15 million. But we'll say more on that in committee. Mr. President, it is clear to me
Bobs,
that
big
there are
up
a lot of things
Dennis.
that
What's
can
up,
be done
Dennis?
for the PNP government during those 18 years. We built 17 schools in northwest Jamaica.
Yes.
17 schools
Listen to
in
this.
northwestern Jamaica.
17 schools
Without Narra.
without Narra.
We did that by using the Urban Development Corporation
Yes.
with a board led by Vin Lawrence.
Yes.
We built, so our board doesn't prevent progress from being made. We built 10,000 houses in Portmore without Narra.
Without Narra.
Darko planning.
The road from Nigrid to Port Antonio.
Without Narra. Oh my God.
And we know that that road which was upgraded resulted in a big tourism investment throughout the corridor.
My
Creating
God.
jobs and opportunity. We created development without Narra.
Yes.
Mr. President, we built the East-West Highway, the PJ Patterson Highway, without Narra. Opening up the country for greater development,
That's
creation
right.
of jobs. We did that without Narra. The North-South Highway, what's it called again? Siaga, yeah, Edo Siaga, the man who opposed it. The man who opposed it. The man who opposed it. But we built that, creating new development without Narra. We expanded both international airports without Narra.
My God.
So that recently they took $100 billion from it, from them. To easy coming. We did that without Narra. We developed the seaports without Narra.
Cheese and
Including
peas.
the farmer pier without Narra. We led the telecom revolution
Hear them.
without Narra.
Hear them.
Sparking jobs and development.
Hear them.
And so, it is clear to us that we do not need Narra
Narra. Yes.
for development. Maybe Johnny come lately. I don't understand that development can come without prime ministerial dictatorship.
Yes.
And that is the fundamental difference. I am clear. I am clear. I am very clear. I am very clear that much of the nice talk today, much of the bluster is like the man who said he's going to open the Strait of Hormuz when it was already open before the war.
Think
Much
about
about
that.
nothing. Much ado about nothing.
My God.
Jamaica, the point that Lambert Brown is making is that, listen, we already could have done all those things. Look what the PMP did under these same bureaucracies. Thank you, Your Extreme Beauty, David Big Up. Under these same bureaucracies that they say is a problem. The PMP was under those bureaucracies and look how much things they built. Look how much things they transformed in the country. So Lambert Brown is taking a total different angle in destroying the Narra bill and just the argument around it about speed and the need for it in its capacity. He's debunking all of it. Let's continue. One Lambert Brown, Senator Lambert Brown.
No, I don't want a visa. I don't want a Jamaican passport. Travel is not my baby. I've done enough of that. But suffice it to say, President, when you come with the developments, which I am sure that this bill is not about providing houses for the people in Westmoreland, or St. Elizabeth, or Hanover, or St. James.
Yeah, man.
This is about another agenda.
Yes.
An agenda of flying the gate.
And let in the pirate. That is
Yes.
Yes. Fly the gate and let the pirates in. Jamaica should be seen a bill which says we're going to build 50,000 houses in Western Jamaica to replace those damaged by the hurricane.
Of course.
And see nothing from them. I come from a party where Norman Manley, after the Hurricane Charlie, built out houses in Augustown, Manley Avenue, that's why it's named Manley Avenue, and that here, for people. I come from a party where PJ appointed Daniel Williams to work on, to do the reconstruction. So that we are for reconstruction, we are for helping the people. I don't see that in this bill. I say nice talk, but I've come to learn from that side to separate the pretty talk to the real action. When you deliver 5 in 4, 10 years after, you have delivered 5%.
Hi, Charmaine.
Much as 5 in 4. So when I see that type of failure by the government, it doesn't give me any hope that this new thing, which is to build a new parliament, to build a new
No.
KPH, good. But that's not about disaster relief. It's about new thing. We built Maple Hospital. We built the hotel called Hospital in Mandeville. The things we have done. We did it without Narra. We built the indoor stadium for the Bowl Championship. We have done, and you have failed to use it. So we have done and showed to the people what development can be. Sadly, we are waiting from them, hopefully without the dictatorship of the Prime Minister, because they're so well into the cult of the personality. And the last thing I will say to my friend Dr. Manuel is whether I'm not sure who are the biggest cult, Stalin or Andrew. Great teasing, Mr. President.
Mighty God. Mighty God, ladies and gentlemen.
Culture. I take you to know that Fly the Gate and Loud the Pirate in I whatever it was. It was a PNP campaign tune enough. Just in case you didn't know.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this man is a better speaker of the house than even. He more calm and, you understand? In keep the order better. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Lambert, bro. Wow. Big up Lammy. This is a closure to, and they said they're going to go to the committee. That's what they keep saying. So I'm hopeful of that. God is good, God is the greatest. Alright? Yeah. Get the video up to 1,000 likes and shares as well. That's it.
Alright, so that. So ladies and gentlemen, yes, I see people asking if the Narra bill has been passed. It has been passed. Let me go to the article real quick. Alright, and big up Senator Lambert Brown. Big up all the contributors. On my page on Bolo VNR 2.0, you can see all my reactions to all the speakers of the Jamaica of the People's National Party. You understand? No look a joke. The man them go and go to Jamaica. What is this? Okay. So let me look at this article right here. It says Senate approved Narra bill. Alright, that's what it says. Let me read more into the details of the article. Can I listen to it? Is there a listening option? That would be dope. That would be very dope. They should have a listening option on the phones as well. You know, I just can press play, but the article is loading. So they did pass the bill. Tiffy, what's up? Thank you guys for hitting the like button and sharing the live. It's two of the most important things to get the channel to keep moving forward, you know. In terms of Bolo VNR clips, I'm trying to get to 10,000 subs. Shout out to all the new subs. That's the most recent aim. Timeline for 10,000 subs. I think we can get to 10,000 subs by the end of this month on Bolo VNR clips. But that would mean that my loyal supporters would have to share this with at least 5 people every time, like all the content, at least 5 people. Maximum is whatever, but at least 5 people, new people all the time. Don't share it with the same people. So if you have a contact list and you share it with this amount of people, share it with the rest of people. Alright, so this is not working out, unfortunately. Let me go to
First of all, let me just remind you.
Let me go to this.
Of this.
Miss Curiosity Kid, how you doing? So this is an interview with Janet Cardler, imploring Jamaicans, imploring Jamaicans to pay attention to the sitting of the House on the Narra bill. This is what she was saying. I've never listened to this. Miss Curiosity Kid, are you? Del Rey's a big up Bolo every time the bill passed. Yeah, man, it passed, man. It passed. But let's hear what you were saying, ladies and gentlemen.
All the assets that the government manages for us and all the money belongs to us. And this is not free money that we're getting. This is money that we, and to be honest, it's over $1 trillion that will be coming in from the IMF and some other multilaterals to fund this infrastructure and this redevelopment process that we're going to have to pay back for. So we really ought to be paying attention. The parliamentarians work for us. We pay their salaries. They work for us. They are utilizing our assets. We should be in the gallery, Jody, for those two simple reasons. These are decisions that are going to be taken that's going to impact the quality of our lives. But more importantly, the 500,000 people in the West is going to impact their lives immediately, and we care about them. So we want to make sure that the government is making the best decisions in the interest of the people here and in the interest of the people down there. And we are not so sure that some good decisions are being made, but we know that they can be better. So I really believe that coming into the gallery tomorrow is usually an indicator to the government that the people are concerned. We don't get to speak, as you know, we wouldn't and couldn't get to speak, but we don't come to gallery unless something is going wrong, right, Judy? We don't come when it's going right. We come when there's a concern, when we're worried. So we want to make sure that the government is making the best decisions in the interest of the people here and in the interest of the people down there. And we are not so sure that some good decisions are being made, but we know that they can be better. So I really believe that coming into the gallery tomorrow is usually an indicator to the government that the people are concerned. We don't get to speak, as you know, we wouldn't and couldn't get to speak, but we don't come to gallery unless something is going wrong, right, Judy? We don't come when it's going right. We come when there's a concern, when we're worried. And it's just our way of saying we're here to show up because we want to communicate the level of interest and concern regarding this bill.
Let's have a functional discussion then. For those who are listening to you and saying, okay, I do want to show up at Gordon House tomorrow at 10 o'clock for the start of the Senate, how do they do that?
Well, I'm happy you asked because I'm pleased to say since I made the call, several persons have called our office to ask the same question, how do we do that, And it reminded me of NIDS. It's reminiscent of NIDS in the same way that the public heard about NIDS at the last minute and the gallery was full. And I remember when I was walking and a little old lady beckoned to me and I crossed the street to say, what does this little old lady need? And she said to me, Mister, can I ask a question? And I said, sure. She said, I can come inside. Now I almost cried, Jody, because this lady was easily in her late 70s and she didn't know that she has a right to come into the gallery and no one can stop her unless she's bringing a weapon, which is not allowed, or the next weapon is sleeveless clothing. Those are the only two things that Jamaicans need to worry about. Please don't wear anything sleeveless.
I did not know that. I did not know that. So I'm sure the rest of us didn't know that, right? A lot of us didn't know that. That you can go to the gallery at any time when they're doing anything. You just don't wear sleeveless, and obviously you should not have an illegal weapon on you, yes?
Leave your weapon at home. You have a right to be in the gallery. And that's as simple as it. Nothing else that needs to be said.
They don't need to do anything else except cover their shoulders. Another weapon formed against us. There's been conversation about bare shoulders and the havoc that they've caused at public buildings. But this is all people need to be able to heed Jam's call and show up tomorrow. There has been some movement, though. The government...
May I tell you, Denise, I didn't know. This is why it's important to listen to Janet Call and these people at Jam. Miss Curiosity, get a show off, Paul. I knew because I did civics at school in the old days. There was no civics when I was going to school, Mrs. Curiosity. Don't show off, Paul.
will say that in the lower house, when they were looking at the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority bill, they heard some of the cries that had been made and they had made some changes. Approximately 20 amendments to the bill were made in the lower house. So when the bill passed at 1:33 on the morning of Tuesday, April 30, from your perspective, were those amendments substantive or less than substantive? We can even call them
less than substantive.
All right.
If we are comparing it to all the recommendations for change and we look at the ones that were changed, of course we are grateful, but I would say to you, less substantive. Yeah.
Less substantive, ladies and gentlemen, even the amendments that they made. Do you know that over 40 civil society groups has been contesting this bill and raising serious concerns. Over 40. Imagine that. Over 40. So the next move, I believe, is that the People's National Party has to take this to court. The posture of our learned attorney and MP of East Portland, Mr. Isaac Buchanan, from all indication from his posture and body language, oh, this is going to court, and I love it. I love it, ladies and gentlemen. But we had a thriller today, you know, man. We had a thriller today, ladies and gentlemen.
Just remind Jamaicans.
There was a thriller today on Portland Spice TV. The Queen of the Mace was in the building. Ryan Campbell, what's up? Everybody on Bolo VNR clips, please, on YouTube, please get the likes up, guys. Come on. Yes, the likes are not sufficient. We should have at least 15 more likes. I would like for everybody to hit the like button, but I do leave room for some detractors and new persons that, you know, might just choose, like, who's this guy? What is he talking about? I don't know what he's saying. It's all good. But for the majority of the persons that are here, I believe, are persons that I've reached out to and sent the link, because for some strange reason, my videos don't pop up when I go live on people's. You know, everybody else's video pops up on my page. Everybody. I get a notification for everybody's video. Sometimes I just go and hit the like button. You know, sometimes I don't have time to watch at the same time. But at least what I do is I make sure that I go and hit the like button. Real rap. And I'm a content creator. So when I tell you that it is super important, sometimes when the video is not yet out and you get a notification, you can still hit the link and go and hit the like button, you know, guys. You know, did you know that? Probably you guys didn't know that. Thank you so much, Samantha. Samantha, I need you over by YouTube, sweetheart. The link is in the bio to my YouTube page. I need somebody like you on YouTube. You say you always hit the like button. I need to always hit the like button team on YouTube. Yeah, man. The people on TikTok, you guys are amazing. Double tapping the screen till we reach 50,000 likes. Like, come on, man. Y'all the MVPs, bro. I need you guys on YouTube. You heard? Yeah. But, you know, people are comfortable on the platforms that they are, and we have to reach them where they are. But I'm just letting you know, I would really like if you guys subscribe and watch the content on YouTube. And then, if you really would not really think about it, you guys need to do that. Because, Merle, how you doing? These conversations I'm having on TikTok, most of them are recorded on YouTube, and sometimes you want to share that with somebody to say, yo, listen to this argument, listen to this reasoning. You get me? So it would be wise and prudent for you guys to subscribe to the YouTube page. But, you know, like I said, we really had a treat this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Dr. Angela Brown Burke.
Lord, to speak, so she won't take up the mic.
Dr. Angela Brown Burke.
Lambert, look for it.
Dr. Angela Brown Burke was on Portland Spice TV this morning, ladies and gentlemen, with Colin Bell, the host. And I want to encourage every one of you to go and subscribe to Colin Bell, the Colin Bell Show. Of course, let's listen to this exclusive. All right, and this is my live reaction, guys. Let's go.
You understand that? Listen to what I said. Clyde Maris. Put him out.
And look on Lambert. I have a chairman of the People's National Party in the waiting room. I'm going to go to her and
Terence Graham, big up yourself, respect. Devon Garwood, big up. Thank you.
come back to you.
Yes.
Bless,
Yeah, man.
bless
Ladies before, gentlemen.
That's right.
It's not serious to man to take up the mic from Brown Burke.
No, you see, we not get no trouble, you know. If she put up her hand to talk, we are going to allow her to speak. So she won't take up the mic. Madam Chairman, good morning.
Good morning to you, and good morning to your listeners and your viewers, wherever they may be.
Listeners and viewers, we are joined by Dr. Angela Brown Burke,
The
Chairman of the
Honorable.
People's National Party.
Honorable.
And she's also the Shadow Minister of Social Protection and Social Transformation. And Madam Chairman, NP for, please remind me of your constituency again.
For St. Andrew Southwestern.
St. Andrew Southwestern. Good morning and welcome to Portland Spice TV.
Thank you very much.
You are trending in mainstream and social media. I don't think nobody hotter than you right now. Everybody wants to talk to Dr. Angela Brown Burke. Dr. Brown Burke, the parliament is a place for cut and thrust and strategies and all kind of overthrows and maneuver. You've been in the parliament quite some time now. Speak to us about what happened 2 Tuesdays ago.
Well, I think I'm going to tell what happened 2 Tuesdays ago, and then I'm going to go back and put it in context, because
Yes.
2 Tuesdays ago, we were actually having the continuation of the discussion on the Narra bill. And as persons would know, the opposition, the PNP, has some serious problems in terms of the lack of oversight, the lack of accountability, the lack of transparency, and so on. In that debate, there were several times that I had put up my hand. Certainly, we all had a chance to talk in that after the first reading of the bill, right? When we went to the clause by clause this review of the bill, a number of persons tried to talk. I was one of those who actually on 3 different occasions had my mic on, which is a request to speak, and I was ignored. For those, I figured, a lot of other persons spoke and they made some of the points I would have wanted to make, so I kind of allowed that to pass. And even at one point, I would have wanted to make another point, but I allowed it to pass. And then we were at another point, and I really wanted to make a contribution at that point. I turned my mic on, and the speaker from where I sat looked over, turned sideways to address the government benches, and I called out to her, just in case it was that she had not seen me, and I called out 5 times.
5 times?
5 times. And
Hi, Simple Pebbles.
No, just Madam
Hi,
Chair.
Simple Pebbles. How you doing, my baby? God bless you. Hope you you know what I'm saying? You already know. But 5 times, ladies and gentlemen, you heard the process, being ignored, let it pass, Wagwantina times, and all of that was building up. You know what I mean? Listen.
And the speaker from where I sat looked over, turned sideways to address the government benches, and I called out to her, just in case it was that she had not seen me, and I called out 5 times.
5 times?
5 times. And I wasn't rowdy, I wasn't loud, just, Madam Chair, Madam Chair, that kind of thing, and I was ignored. And she just moved on to the government benches for a vote to be taken on that particular clause. So, I by then, I had reached, I think, a boiling point. And so, yes, I got up and I interacted with the mace. I touched it, took it up, which is not allowed by the standing order. And I want to say this clearly, because I see some people saying that what I did was against the Constitution of Jamaica. And I want to be very clear that the Constitution of Jamaica is different from the standing orders that govern how we operate in Parliament.
Which done labor right company internet come say that she broke? Is it somebody in the parliament that said that she broke a constitutional law? Which done smarty come say that? We really have to point out that the constitutional law and rights and what governs the parliament is different. The standing order, we really have to say that in 2026. Bring back civics in a school, bro. Cause me and the brightest no, I would go to school just for civics. I kid you not. I see now in my older years of life how important it is to be familiar with how government actually runs. So at the local level, all the levels, the legislative, everybody. How everything is structured, you know, how to get things done, all the bureaucracies. Because we have to interface with it at some point if we're going to be doing any type of expansion in our lives and growth in terms of wealth. So I think it is critical that we learn these things. But let's continue.
And I did that because this wasn't the first day that we were all complaining about it. Right? She had done that to the leader of opposition business, the leader of the opposition, and I think there have been many other members on the opposition benches that she would have done that to. And it's something that we have been talking about. I mean, ever since they put in that new mic system, we have seen it as a weaponization
Yes.
of her authority.
My God.
In how she rules. Because there are times when you put your hand up to speak, she wants to find out what you want to say, and she keeps your mic off while you're supposed to answer that question, while her mic is on. So everybody's hearing what she's asking. No one will hear what you say when you say it. And what she wants to be able to do is to have you say it so she can then approve or disapprove. I take very strongly
High poison
that
ivy.
kind of way of operating a speaker. The mic is there so that if you ask me what it is I want to say, I should be allowed to say that.
Play that back. This is important. I'm sorry, guys.
Ever since they put in that new mic system, we have seen it as a weaponization of her authority and in how she rules. Because there are times when you put your hand up to speak, she wants to find out what you want to say, and she keeps your mic off while you're supposed to answer that question, while her mic is on. So everybody's hearing what she's asking. No one will hear what you say when you say it. And what she wants to be able to do is to have you say it so she can then approve or disapprove. I take very strongly to that kind of way of operating a speaker. The mic is there so that if you ask me what it is I want to say, I should be allowed to say that on mic. If having heard it, you believe it is inappropriate, or you believe it is off topic, or you believe it is just not appropriate, then you can rule and take it from there.
Simple.
And so I did that. She first, I think, named me in a committee, which chairman of the committee is not allowed to name. It's done by the Speaker of the House. And the standing orders actually says that the chairman would then, having said what the issue is, would then revert to be going to Parliament.
I've heard it.
Session, and then what would follow. The first time it was done, actually, my government name, as people would say, Angela Brown Burke, was not the name called. It was the constituency that was referred to, and the constituency was the wrong constituency. So again, I didn't, yeah. And so we were there having a little discussion about, how to proceed, the fact that there are some things that are not being right and what is recorded would not be correct. Anyway, when we got back to Parliament, I turned on my mic at that point, attempting to say something.
I heard that.
Now, it could be that I'd wanted, since we're now back in session, to apologize. It could be that that is what I would have wanted to do. She doesn't know, nobody knows. And I was denied an opportunity to say
I think she said, that's not how it goes, that's not how it works.
That's correct. Absolutely correct. And so, okay, we stopped for a minute again, and she proceeded to complete the action that she had intended to take, which was to name me and ask me to leave the Parliament. Again, and I say to individuals, I am well aware that there are sanctions for going against the standing orders, and I am aware that by interacting with the means, it means that there is a reaction to that, an appropriate reaction, which I have no difficulty with, none whatsoever. What followed though, and I see some people taking that on, but I see others pretending as if that is okay. I am expecting from
Ocean Wide and all of you pretending as if the way how Juliet Oldness barked like a dog at Dr. Angela Brown Burke and also the poor gentleman. What them call him? I'm gonna play the tape. Let me come back to this. Marshall, go for her. Marshall, go for her. Like a mafia gangster. Yeah. You ever watch the movie them? Yeah man, when the mafia boss upset and I talk to one of his subordinates them, one of him enforcer them, yeah man, go for him. And so that's how she sounded very demonstrative. She sounded like a monster Jezebel. Nobody wants to talk about that on the JLP side. The PNP can admit she shouldn't touch the mace. But the actual action after that was not warranted in terms of how she spoke to her. And I have played, I have put out a video where I showed how, the parliament overseas in the UK, that's the Westminster model that we come from, how they handle similar situations. Nobody, it's easy. You don't need all that rah-rah. It was almost as if when Dr. Angela Brown Burke touched the mace, it was almost as if it hurt something. It's like she take one knife and stick Juliet Owens. It literally, so that's why she was bawling out like that. When Angela Brown Burke touched the mace, it hurt something inside Juliet, it seems, and it had her bawling out Jamaica, crying out. Yeah.
the Speaker of the House a particular decorum, regardless of what the issues are. I'm expecting that the Speaker, in implementing a rule that exists and exercising an authority or power that she has, will do it in a particular way. Because at the end of the day, every single one of us are there. We are each there because some persons have voted for us and have sent us to Parliament to represent them. And so at the very least, common courtesy and mutual respect is what is demanded inside the House. Now, this is another issue because there are times when the Speaker speaks to the rest of the Parliament as if we are kids. And I should probably take that back because in modern times we are saying we speak to our children with respect. We scold them, but we don't set the tone of disrespect in speaking with them, if you understand the point I'm making.
Yes.
Right? And so she has a habit of doing that. And we have made no secret of the fact that we believe it's inappropriate. It is inappropriate. And so what happened is...
Ivan, if you look up the mace, it is definitely a sign of protest. It's something that they do in Westminster model. When things are not going right, they touch the mace. Yeah, man. So they made it seem like she committed a... They not made it seem. They painted this picture. Oh, it's a cardinal sin, but they're gonna address it. Let's wait.
Yeah, we didn't move right away. She then proceeded to suspend the sitting, having suspended me for the rest of that sitting. And Parliament broke, and we all left the chamber.
Hold it right there, Madam Chairman. The Speaker of the House, when she named you, she said, outside, halt. Did that offend you?
Of course it offended me. I wouldn't talk to my dog like that. Because if I wanted my dog to obey me, we have it's a relationship. I have a dog that I love. And that's part of my family. So I would not speak to a dog like that. I can think of no one that I would speak to like that and think it's appropriate. Absolutely no one. Certainly not an adult. Certainly not a colleague, a member of Parliament. Yes? And certainly not when I'm in a position of authority and understanding my role of example setting in terms of, in this role, how do I carry myself, even under difficult circumstances, while exercising my authority.
You thought about picking up the mace before you walked to it and pick it up. Was that something that you thought about and decided that you're going to interrupt the parliament?
I tell you, I wasn't so, I wasn't so sure what to do. And I'll use the opportunity since you asked to go back, because this Tuesday, the speaker did say that I had done this before, that I got up in Parliament and I said, if you want me to behave like Barry, I'm going to behave like Barry.
Yes.
First of all, I did get up. What she said I said is not what I said.
Ooh.
I don't call people.
So you're telling me, ladies and gentlemen, that what's her name? She said she don't call people a liar.
Liars. I mean, I'm going out of saying that. I will say that what she said was not true.
She a liar. This is a trait of the Jamaica Labour Party. They do not come straight forward. So you're telling me that Juliet Owens has the benefit of the Hansard to go back and quote exactly what Angela Brown Burke said, and she still misrepresented what she said? Let's hear what she really said. Let me play it back.
Say I had done this before, that I got up in Parliament and I said, if you want me to behave like Barry, I'm going to behave like Barry.
Yes.
First of all, I did get up. What she said I said is not what I said. I don't call people liars. I mean, I'm going out of saying that. I will say that what she said was not true. It could be that she didn't hear well, but I tell you, what I got up and said was, is it that I am expected to behave like a variable for my mic to be turned on? I then left and went back to my seat.
That is very, very different from what Juliet Owens said. And it brings a different context. Because what Juliet Owens said, it really made it seem, it painted Miss Brown Burke in a really monstrous type of way, you know. I'm going to try and go back and find exactly what Juliet Owens said she said. See? Because I have that speech on, I have Juliet Owens' speech on my the full speech by itself on my YouTube page, so persons can go listen. You understand? And that's what I like to do. These types of moments, I love to document them. Very important. So let me see.
Members, authority of the House itself at the Parliament of their country. If a student believes that a teacher member may disagree with her ruling or even believe that the process is unfair, but the person cannot be sorry if I have context for the institution. The standing orders itself provides the avenues that the members may raise up. Those rules enemy of democracy. True in this House organization, they are one of the rules when they agree with the chair, far greater consequence are a part of a as may wish. Many parliaments across the Commonwealth include, point is not whether Jamaica is a one of magnitude. I am particularly mindful of the sentiment expressed by some that an indigenous object which reflects an expression toward Jamaican identity is desirable. That process, however, requires constitutional reform and consensus. But let me hear we as a, however, some have sought to turn the issue into the life of the last parliament, and that wasn't achieved appropriately, and I note attempts by few to subject the including derogatory substance prevails in the House of any public commentary. With that being said, let me also say this clearly. The primary focus should not be on the occupant of the chair. House must remain issued under the authority of the House. Follows, and when that is not a member, on or around March 5th, 2026,
Right, that's all.
the member rose from her seat and boisterously declared that you want me to behave like a virego, me I go behave like a virego, end quote.
Wanna hear the lie, Jamaica? Wanna want me to behave like a virego? Me I go behave like a virego. That versus this. What was actually said. So she did not quote her correctly.
What she said was not true.
Yes.
It could be that you didn't hear well, but I tell you, what I got up and said was, is it that I am expected to behave like a variable for my mic to be turned on? I then left and went back to my seat.
Ooh, we got to clip that up. We got to clip that up, ladies and gentlemen. What's the timestamp on this? 9:36. Yeah, we got to clip that up. We got to clip that up. That documentation purposes. Caught up in a lie, exposed again. Lord. And these people talking about misinformation. The audacity, ladies and gentlemen. Out of I press pick up yourself. Every time. My sister. Zin. One queen on the up, you know. Yeah, man. 8 queen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here again with another exposure video. The JLP makes it very easy, and in this case, it's the Speaker of the House. Yeah, listen to this.
Right? Which, in my mind, was to say, I don't think I should be expected to behave like a variable to get my mic well. But I'll tell you, what I got up and said was, is it that I am expected to behave like a variable for my mic to be turned on? I then left and went back.
Is it expected that I should behave like a variable for my mic to be turned on? That's what was said. Listen to what Juliet Owens quoted her in saying. Let me find that clip. 9:36.
Restrict boisterously declared that on or around March 5th, this was not the first occasion on which the conduct of this nature has tested the authority of the chair by the same member. On or around March 5th, 2026, the member rose from her seat and boisterously declared that you want me to behave like a virego, me I go behave like a virego, end quote.
Lion! I saw you go. Hey, I'm trying to tell you, moms, 2 different things. And we're going to listen again to what she actually said versus. As a matter of fact, let me replay that for you. Because more of this so keen, you know. Listen to this. She tried to paint Dr. Angela Brown Burke in a very dark light because she realized that social media was recognizing her for a monster Jezebel. Yeah. And she didn't like that. So she came out for everybody in this speech. Even social media. Listen carefully.
Is repeatedly tested and no consequence follows. And when that is done, disorder becomes normalized. This was not the first occasion on which the conduct of this nature has tested the authority of the chair by the same member. On or around March 5th, 2026, the member rose from her seat and boisterously declared that you want me to behave like a virego, me I go behave like a virego, end quote.
For my mic to be turned on. I then left and went back to my seat. Right? It felt as if this had gone on for too long. And
Appearance.
I don't like you.
And I was, if because of it, the parliament descended into chaos. It is.
Went ahead and I Googled.
Hold on, the Sharon Wagwan.
I mean, you started too long to tell you my disappointment. I don't know if you heard it before. Right, Chairman.
I was upset about it. I felt I expected to behave like a variable to get that.
See that.
Right? Which I'm expected to behave like a variable. I said, I don't call people liars. I mean, I'm going out of sync like variable.
Yes.
First of all, I did get up. What she said, I said, is not what I said. I don't call people liars. I mean, I'm going out of saying that. I will say that what she said was not true. It could be that she didn't hear well, but I'll tell you, what I got up and said was, is it that I am expected to behave like a variable for my mic to be turned on? I then left and went back to my seat.
So she never said, if you want me to behave like a variable, I'm going to behave like a variable. No. Context matters, ladies and gentlemen. This is how they twist the truth. And she went to, she quotes, liar. That is it. Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Sure, I know I'm going, my baby.
Which, in my mind, was to say, I don't think I should be expected to behave like a lawyer to get my mind.
To get a chance.
But here I am in the middle, signaling to you, say, I wanted to speak and you have been ignoring me. What's happening? And I then went back to my seat. But that also goes to show that this is not a one-time, this is something that has been happening over and over again.
Over and over again.
Any member in the parliament on our side, and they will tell you that. And they will tell you that. So
Come Chairman.
I was upset about it. I felt aggrieved. I felt as if this had gone on for too long. And when would it stop?
I can't wait too long to tell you my disappointment. I don't know if you heard it before.
I've heard several disappointments from persons about
Yes, me think you should have take up the mace, run out of the house and fling where the damn something. Stop the sitting. I mean, you started, Comrade Chairman, and me just wanted you to just take you up and just come out.
No, well, I'm not best.
Before you respond.
Right, absolutely.
I went ahead and I Googled options to protest for parliamentarians.
Listen to this.
In a Westminster
Listen
style
to this.
government.
Yes.
In the Commonwealth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was third on the list is removing the mace.
It is. It is. It is. And
So for those who were saying that you commit the cardinal sin,
Rubbish.
how does that become a sin
Rubbish.
when it's a part of the process of
Exactly.
protest in a parliament?
And it
Rubbish.
has become that. In fact, I go further. After the incident happened, that
Wait just a
also
moment.
included apologies to the House.
Say that again. That is a good question. You know, some women are easy though. Mummy say, where in the Bible is it a cardinal sin if you touch the mace? Mighty God. But in truth, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing that says that. It is a regular form, top 3 in protesting in the parliament. And I mean, they are making it out to be something more than it is because they wanted to divert the attention away from the criminal Narra bill that they passed. You understand? The Narra bill will enable the Prime Minister to commit crimes against us, the citizens of Jamaica, where our constitutional rights are concerned, and not be locked up for it. Him and him CEO and all of these people. I challenge anybody if you come tell me say I lie, me I tell. Or I'm misrepresenting the Narra bill. Anybody. And I'm not a lawyer. I challenge anybody if you come tell me say the Narra bill doesn't give the Andrew owners the powers to commit crimes against the people of Jamaica. Our tax dollars is involved, you know. So whatever that is used for can be criminal. You understand? From our perspective. So I challenge anybody to come tell me say, and then not even from our perspective, from the constitutional rights that are there for us. Just look at the Bengal situation. This bill gives Andrew owners the right to overturn those types of situations that in science, by the experts, is there to protect our constitutional rights, the rulings that they come to. And him can just overthrow that and do what he wants to do, violate the environment, and people can die as a result of it. Or lose their sovereignty and their ownership of lands. And hey, let me tell you something, man, this is dangerous. The access to beach is in question too. Because if you talk about development and you talk about these hotels, hey, listen, you guys need to watch all of the reactions that I did to every single speech of the People's National Party. There are some key points in there that you must remember and hold firm to and look out for. You understand? Where leadership, not just Andrew Jones, anybody in the future that should come and try any stuff like this again. I believe this is going to the courts, and I know that the People's National Party and importantly, the Jamaican people will win. The Jamaican people will win. Right? It's untenable what they're doing, man. But let's continue. There's no cardinal sin in touching the mace. The mace is not to be revered, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? That's like revering your slave master. That's crazy. Talk about cardinal sin.
On the removal of the mace. And I think I might have found one other outside of the one for Edmund Bartlett. in the Edmund budget. And I reflected on that. And then as I reflected on it, I realized, but the truth is that if you take an action as a sign of protest, you're not going to apologize for the protest.
No.
You might apologize for whatever ensues after that.
Exactly.
If because of it, the parliament descended into chaos, if because of it, some other things. But the truth is, it is an act of protest. And that's how it should be regarded. It doesn't make it right.
A legitimate act of protest.
It is. In fact, there's a reason
Jamaica.
why all of our standing orders.
Jamaica, let me tell you something. You see this government? This government would love to lock up people for coming out and protesting against what the government is doing. They would love to make a law that says you should not and cannot come out publicly and protest. They are doing it in other countries, They use the NIDS ID to do it. You see what's happening in China? Yes? If you come out and say unfavorable things about the administration, what happens to you? You pretty much don't have any way to buy food or travel or anything. You are homeless. You can't pay no bill. You can't rent an apartment. You're social. There's something called a social credit score or something like that, where if you say the wrong things on social media, you will be ostracized from the community. If you take an unfavorable stance, even if it's the truth, you'll be ostracized. And that's a deeper conversation, because that is a core attack on the church, on God's word. And it's coming. But thank God, Jamaica is not going to be that place. I am happy to be Jamaican, and I'm happy that God is going to defend this nation, to have its sovereignty and set it in a way that we can say the things that need to be said because it's the truth. And we won't live in a digital society like they want. This devil system of all of these, smart cities. That's how them lock you out of the thing, Some things have to be put in place. The smart cities is one of them. So don't be fooled by the devil behind the man. And somebody said, Sassy might be watching me right now because she's always on the program listening and doing work and not commenting, not even saying hi. But I'm going to leave that alone because she's hearing me right now. I know she'll come go say hi. We do this all the time, bantering. That's what they do in Parliament. But we're on the same side, but that's still banter at her. Anyway, I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, she made a point that Andrew Holness has to be alien. And I said, I took it as a joke at one point, and I hear my mom saying, wonder if they clone him. One of them have Andrew Holness locked up somewhere. This is conspiracy now. One of them, I'm not asking the question, it's a conspiratorial question. I am wondering, ladies and gentlemen, if they have Andrew Holness locked up in a basement somewhere, and the clone is walking around, running the country. And his wife as well, who knows? I'm wondering. Because, when you look at Andrew Holness, when he just started out, you cannot take that type of 180 in your stance. It's ridiculous. It's just too... Alright, you can change on some things, but the core things that he campaigned upon, the man has literally done nothing. Wayne, I don't know, but hey, listen, man, it's not me. I can't take the credit. It's between Sassy D and my mother. You feel what I'm saying? Both of them has made the argument similar, that this guy probably is not the guy. He's probably alien, or he's abducted and in somewhere and them lock him up and have one clone or work, brother. How the man move from all of the things that he was standing for? I don't know if them clone him after him did make the speech and say he has sinned against the nation, Probably, listen, conspiracy, right? So you can't say it's misinformation. I've stated clearly that this is conspiracy. I am asking the question, could it be, ladies and gentlemen, that this is what happened? Brad said, no, Bolo, Andrew Horns has just gotten bigger and everyone is now seeing it. Mighty God! Yeah, hey, no dangerous, man. Brat, you have to build it. Hey, when they make statements like that, we can't even argue with you. I was just putting that out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on. Let's move on. Oh my God. No, sir.
Because they recognize, yes, that it could have been used, it has been used, and so provision is made for when that's done, what follows.
You said that those who have the power to punish can go ahead and punish. Explain that statement to us.
Hold on
But to
there.
be honest,
Hold on there. Sorry for cut Dr. Angela Brown Burke. Somebody said one moment he's bowing to the wall in Israel, I wouldn't be surprised. Damn. So what you say? I wouldn't go bow to the wall and grab him. Mighty God. 2016, I saw 2 baby horns in his forehead. He's always the devil. Jesus. Yo. Hey, y'all cutting up in the chat, man. Herma said, he is right. It's just getting big of a truth. Jesus and peace. No, sir. Him eyes them green from then. Where say my turn? Him a turn the boy, may I tell you, whenever see yeah, sometime he kind of show that, yeah, true. Yeah, man. You say he's a warlock. Wow.
Punish. Explain that statement to us.
Well, to be honest, I have heard individuals, MPs and ministers, in their public utterances saying things like it's not over and it's not done, and they are demanding a full apology, and so on. I'm not sure what they are expecting, and so I just have to.
Uno not get no apology. Do what you want to do.
Keep my mind open to say that they might be thinking of additional punishment. I don't think that they could give punishment for the actual removal of the mace, since they had determined what that was. But I mean, they are creative, so I'm waiting on that.
They are creative. They are creative. That's just a nice word to say. Them deceptive, and them have criminal type of characteristics. That's what I read from it, because that's exactly how I view them. Yeah, he couldn't pretend to be what he is not for long. You know why? The verdict is in pan, Jonas, yeah, man. Let's continue.
I'm just simply saying, because I know that what I did.
He's a demon from the pit of hell. No, sir.
Additional punishment. I don't think that they could give punishment for the actual removal of the mace, since they had determined what that was. But I mean, they are creative, so I'm waiting on that. I take nothing for granted. I'm just simply saying, because I know that what I did was contrary to the standing orders, and I'm not denying that. And I would hate for anyone, a youngster or even an adult, to believe that I am saying that we should just get up willy-nilly and don't.
Hey, I knew I heard a familiar voice. Come here.
When you break rules, there has to be a reason why you break it. And you know this argument of people talking about
come here, Molly.
Listen.
Come here, sweetie. Oh my God, family! Oh, I miss you so much. What are you doing? What going? You know, have mommy back different? Thank you. No, because she want to ask me what they in my bag and then something. I'm gonna read the power she did for me. Well, hey, what's in your bag? No, you have your bag, I have my bag. You understand? So what matter with that. So what up to? They on the live, see what up to? Yes. Mm-hmm. I should have said that from the start. Yes. Yo, Malik, that easy though. Because she did on my life one time, you know, I done the NHT, you know. That was an epic. We need to have our party program more time, I swear. You know what I mean? But anyway. I true, man. We have to have one segment, because she's very, you know, innate in her faith, and I think that she would add some flavor where that is concerned in understanding the scripture on the program. And I've already been putting out prophecies and looking at stuff, but she's really into it in terms of the knowledge way more than me, because she read and she's into it. So I probably should have her on, right? I'm just saying. Need like a once a week video from her If you give like a word or 3 times for the week or whatever she can manage, because I don't know her schedule. But yeah, I'm throwing that out there. What I go on? Yes, I'm plugging her up, man. One thing, chat. One thing.
Go, Jonah.
Yes, that's right. Sometimes I need the pushing up. So no.
Just heading out.
So your mom's gonna call me, me think say yo this morning when I reach me and me they ask me
That was the point. That was the plan.
oh thank God for team we mash up the plan because well you would have seen mommy because it, you know we were active. If you did pull up, you would have seen. But I will sleep.
Go and get something other stuff before we actually hit here, so.
Mm-hmm. So are they so on ahead now?
Yes, right now.
Wanna come back to that?
No.
So now stay down there? Not at the place.
No.
Oh, I like well, me and you go the time, come here whenever they so.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what?
No,
Man.
it's always over that time.
Okay, alright. So now I'm safe travel. Now I'm holding up because I have a long trip. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love you
We will
guys.
see you. Hi, chat.
Yes.
They come.
Yeah, man, later. Alright, Tima, bye. And thanks, here. Yes.
While we come down.
Yeah, man, later. Alright, my people, so you know, we have to just make some time for your family. So I'm come drop off something for me. So I've gone in the bag, yeah. Nice. Let me text the darling dearest and tell her thanks, you know, before me even going further. Make sure you know, say I got the package. I love her again. I love her so much. Let me see. Yes. Let me see. Alright, so I just saw the girls. Yes, they just came through. They're on their way to their next destination. Thank you so much, my darling. You're probably at work, so I'm on TikTok live right now. So if you are, you know what I'm saying, you could pull up. But bless up. Appreciate you, baby. Alright, so that's that. Let's continue. Yo, Splash, did you want to go on, my G? What you are dealing with? Everything good? Yeah, man, we they are peruse this thing with Dr. Angela Brown Burke. Me soon come off still because I have a next video we are premiere 5 o'clock on the program here. So
I know that there were schools in which you could not wear afro at one point. Yes? It was breaking the rules that has allowed us to be able to go into a school, to go into a workplace with hair that looks like mine,
True.
with afro, with locks.
True.
You know, it wasn't so long ago that these things were prohibited.
Yes.
So I remember those things.
Of course.
And so I want us to just bear in mind, yes, that something that is done in a moment that seems so outrageous becomes the beginning of change that we want to see.
Yeah.
And I'm not suggesting anarchy by any means.
No.
But I am saying that responsible dissent, responsible protest is a part of who we are and is a part of how we engender change. And if there are consequences to what you do, then as long as they are within the rules and what persons would say reasonable, then I don't see how you fight that. And I'm not I would want to see the end of the matter because honestly, where we are and what I'd really like to see is that we take an opportunity to have a mature discussion across the aisle to see how we really operate in the parliament. It is true that often the banter is excessive, it is acrimonious, it is less than pleasant, less than decent.
Well, she now go just do that too in a chat. Acrimonious, meaning acrimonious, anger and bitter, caustic, biting, what is rancorous? Rancorous? Yo, I've never heard that word before. Rancorous, meaning rancorous describes deep-seated resentment, long-lasting anger or malicious ill will. Damn! It's like it's been like that. I ain't even gonna cap. She ain't lying.
The way they operate in the parliament. It is true that often the banter is excessive, it is acrimonious, it is less than pleasant, less than decent, and the way the speaker handles the parliament needs to be looked at as well. So that's what I'm hoping we'll get to.
As it relates to the Mace, this is my final question on the whole Mace situation. Your colleagues on your side stand in defiance with you, and they would let the marshal get to even touch you. What was that about?
Honestly, I think that part of it was simply an understanding of where it was coming from. And so I think that was a big part of it. And then as the speaker started as well, I think the way in which she was presenting herself became such an affront to every member on our side who was there. In fact, it should be an affront to all members of parliament, because regardless of what you have done as someone in authority, there must be another way in which you can exercise your authority than the way she did. Total lack of decorum, total disrespect. That anger made it seem as if it was not a professional act that was being, this wasn't just fulfilling duty, but this was something personal. You know, like when you're on the corner and a brawl breaks out. That's what it seemed like. And I don't believe that would have been appropriate.
Oh, yeah, asked about the antivirus. Boy, the antivirus serious, you know, and it was prophesied by the prophets, you know. Yeah, man, the antivirus, the pandemic, it was prophesied. A lot of things is in the pipeline, guys. A lot of... Yo, God have to depend. You have to have God in your corner, I'm telling you. A lot of things. Yo, I saw something like the man have ticks. We have vaccine, right? Genetically modified ticks that have vaccine, right? When they just leg in the wild to bite animals and people, so the animals then get vaccinated. And I'm like, yo, is this even real? I was asking the question. Because, hey, listen, there's still some well, I wouldn't say it's a conspiracy. I don't know if it's true. I'm not confirming or denying. I'm asking the question. I was looking at it like, yo, this gotta be a conspiracy, bro. There is, oh my God. They are taking it this far from to vaccinate people against their will. And I saw Bill Gates' face on it. I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, I hope this is not true, bro. I truly, there's some things in this world. It reminds me of the Matrix when the dude decided, yo, listen, you know what? I know all is fake, but could you give me a fake life that I don't have to deal with all this reality? It be like that sometimes. It be like that sometimes, bro. I be thinking about like, man, all of this. If we don't have God, we are in trouble. The forces of darkness are relentless. You heard? Relentless. Facts. It's crazy, bro. Like, man, what the hell going on, bro? What the hell going on?
In the corner, and a brawl breaks out. That's what it seemed like. And I don't believe that would have been appropriate for Parliament either.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the Speaker herself. In the first term, she was seconded by the opposition leader on government business to become Speaker. And some people are also forgetting that in this term, the People's National Party, the opposition, basically come out against it vociferously, I would say. What can be done, if anything, at this point? Because the Speaker basically said on Tuesday that she's not going to change and she's going to get more rigid.
Yep.
So we acknowledge that choosing the Speaker is the right of the governing party. Those are the rules, and we can't change that. We started, as you said, that first time seconding it because that is a tradition that we had. The governing party names the person they want to have, fine. We second and we join in that ceremonial taking the Speaker up. Based on how the Speaker acquitted herself, we were less than pleased. And therefore, the second time around, we didn't do that. And as you said, you're correct. We did object because we thought that her behavior was not fit. We thought that how she was ruling and her behavior in Parliament was less than stellar. And we
Hi, how you doing, Empress 13? Bless you, bless you, bless you. Yes, I know that you're ahead of us, so it should be 12 a.m. where you are. No, it's not 12 a.m. It's not Sunday yet. But happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers in the chat. I am redeemed, thank you so much. Says greed and corruption, humans are confused. Bolo, is it true? Yeah, I just not already. Sharon, big up yourself. Donovan Lane, big up yourself, Donovan. I just seen you. Unknown Libra, I don't know if I said hello, but salute to you, my darling. I did read your comment, but I don't know if I said no. Ray Town say, ask everybody, where are the children of the politicians and the rich in Jamaica? Jamie, big up yourself. Man, listen. If a politician decides that, you know, their child is gonna live and go to school overseas and they're a politician, I believe it's a small indictment on the politician, to be honest with you. Especially if you don't at least bring them through to the high school and basic school and primary school levels. Outside of that, I believe it's well within your right where you want to go as in college, overseas or whatever, because sometimes it depends on the field that you want to do the training in, and we see persons that want to go into the medical field, and especially affordability is also a concern as well. I'm not saying that for the politician, but it would more be, and then people that have money still want to save their money, right? But it would be the skill set that the person is trying to master. I think they would have to factor in where their child will go. But primary school, high school, yeah, if you're a politician and your kids is not doing all of that here, it must be that your kids was never born here and you probably is married to somebody overseas or something. But it gives the politician a greater appreciation for the lived realities of persons on the ground, right? And there's a flip side to it, you know. Let me tell you, there's a flip side to it. If that politician is zoned in and locked into his humanity and is guided by the Most High, it doesn't matter where his children go to school. As a matter of fact, if his children go to school overseas or her children go to school overseas and they appreciate those standards, what they would do is work assiduously, right, to make sure that that reality overseas is the model that comes to our education system here. They would work assiduously to improve it, to reach to that level, or I near say, surpass it if possible, so we can have the best educational system here in Jamaica. That's what a servant of the people does, you know. Look at other areas, you know, in terms of, specifically we're talking about education here, and you look at what works in other places, and then you formulate some type of legal amendments and other things and structure something where, you know, the people can benefit from that type of quality service, whether healthcare or all of that stuff, or education. Those two are at the top of the list, you see me? But unfortunately, what we're seeing from the Jamaica Labour Party is a lot of individuals in there that really don't care about the people. And I can tell you why I said that. They don't listen. They don't listen. They hear and they want to appear as if they care, but caring comes with action. You understand what I'm saying? So when people is raising concerns in the public sphere about the bill, and you still pass the bill, it tells me you don't care, because it's not like those concerns are light concerns, ladies and gentlemen. There's a trust deficit. You see one say that. Then why don't you put out an olive branch to demonstrate that you are willing to work for the people's trust. When you pass the bill, you're telling me that you don't care if we don't trust you, you just do what you want to do. And that is the posture of the government. That has been their posture. And I'm telling you, if you guys haven't watched my reaction to Senator Donna Scott Motley speech, it's on my YouTube page on Bolo VNR 2.0. You gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. I'm telling you, you got to check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Facts. Let's continue.
And we made that clear. Now there's very little more we can do outside of that. We can't move her if she decides that she's going to continue in this behavior. It's Jamaicans who would have to judge her, you know. We would have to determine what our approach is in the parliament when those aggressions are committed. At this point, I don't know what that would be, but I don't think that anyone should expect that we will sit in a parliament day in, day out with a speaker who is just totally disrespectful and has no regard for her colleagues.
As chairman of the people.
So Jamaica, there's no way they can remove the speaker of the house. There's no way. Let us be clear. There's no way they can do it. They can't move her. If she wants to stay and continue to be disrespectful, you know, there's a few things that they can do. They don't have to sit there and take the disrespect. They can walk out. Yeah, man. That's pretty much it. And they can use the standing orders to correct her. That's pretty much it. So knowing the standing orders, like Mr. Willie Rattigan said, shout out to him, is definitely important for every single member of the People's National Party. The JLP doesn't want any unity with the PNP. They want submissiveness. They want them to fall in line with everything they do, and if they don't, and even civil society that has raised concerns about the Narra bill. What did they do? They start calling PNP. I shared a video with 2 Locks. I did a reaction with 2 Locks looking at Oris Chang comments about body-worn cameras. And I'm telling you, people are going to call 2 Locks a PNP and them dunce because them don't listen to 2 Locks. Clearly. The man is just a citizen that him not trust none of the government, them brother. He's that type. If you attack foolishness, him just going to say you attack foolishness. Without fear or favor. And that's not disrespectful. If you attack foolishness, you attack foolishness. But Jamaican people with culture, you know, we take everything, every little thing as disrespect. And you look at thin skin behavior, we need to stop that. Real thing. You know what I mean? But my side, when I go and go in 26,000, we need to step up the pace still. We need to get that done in 10 minutes or 20 minutes. So I can't do that. When I can't get me 50,000 likes in 12 minutes, let's go, guys. 50,000 likes in 12 minutes.
A party, the opposition. If you are not being allowed or given the latitude to speak in the parliament, what can the nation expect from the opposition? How will you get to address some of these situations that the speaker will basically not allow you to speak on in the parliament?
Well, you know, it depends. I don't know. At this point, I really don't know. I have not made any grand plan about how we are going to proceed. And it's not just about me, it's about all of us. When there are issues, because bear in mind, these are not personal issues that we're talking about. You know, it's not to defend our person. It's not to defend something we want to do because we want to do it. It is to defend our right to represent the people who have sent us there. It is to defend our right to contribute to good laws that are being passed. So the discussions around benefits and you know, and stuff and changes that could be of benefit to the people in terms of the laws that are there. So I don't know. We would have to think about it. We'd have to give good, good thoughts to it. I know that at this point we are asking, how is it that we can have that conversation? Because also, I don't think it is just about speaker. I believe that there are 2 sides in the parliament, the opposition and the government. And I think that the government should also be interested in some fair play, even a part of a fair play.
Should is the operative word there.
And I do say that. And I am sure that there are some members, because I do remember an incident, for example, when I asked her whether or not she was sitting in the right chair, because a chairman of a committee sits lower and the Speaker of the House sits in the higher chair, and she basically dismissed it as if.
But she did come down.
She has stuff, but she came down, and she came down because of intervention from the other side. Right? And so I believe that there are persons there who would like to see the parliament run right. I don't think that this animosity helps anyone. I certainly am not looking forward to that. I'm hoping that we can find a way out of this kind of an impasse.
If you're just joining us and you're wondering who is this beautiful lady on the street, she's the chairman of the People's National Party, Dr. Angela Brown Burke. She's the lady that lifted the mace in the parliament that caused the big controversy. But Dr. Brown Burke, let's talk about the Narra bill, because that is the bill that was being debated and was at committee stage when whatever happened. What are your major issues with the Narra bill?
I believe that how the Narra bill is constructed, the biggest thing for me really is around how the CEO is appointed and the relationships there, right? So named by the Prime Minister, reports to the Minister with no other mechanism for oversight or guidance or anything like that. So there's no real board. There's some talk of Jamrock, but Jamrock is not in the bill itself. And what that means is that you could say that Jamrock is anything. You don't know exactly what powers Jamrock would have. The other question around is the CEO and other members who would join Narra is that there is, there's a secrecy and indemnity clause, which means that what is happening, what is taking place there, is a secret and should not be shared. Outside of that, however, we thought it would have been important because of just the magnitude of the bill, the dollars and cents that we're talking about, and the importance of the projects that we're talking about. That if there was, people would say, heaven forbid, anything going on that was underhand, that there could be some kind of a whistleblower protection. That is totally missing there. So we believe that there's a lack of accountability. Certainly there's no transparency. How works are defined in that bill, it is basically just wide open. It could be anything. From the looks of it, it doesn't even have to be anything that is related to hurricane damage. It could be any project that is deemed strategic or important or what have you. We thought that that was too broad and just too wide. And yeah, just general lack of transparency and accountability. In fact, they made a few changes after we spoke about that one, which was to allow, I think, some reports to be made. But as we have seen with PAC, it is important to be able to have that call to Parliament, that interrogation, while work is still being done and not after it is done.
But why is the government against the CEO coming to Parliament? Like, for example, the opposition leader mentioned the standing committee where all members of the Parliament can get to question the CEO. Why do you think the government is against that?
I don't know. One of the points I made when I spoke against the bill is that I really have no trust and faith in the government at this point in terms of just their corrupt acts, how they have allowed things to slide.
Is that the reason why the Speaker treated you the way she treated you? Because in your contribution in the debate, you spoke to a lot of the corruption. I think you just stopped short of mentioning the Prime Minister's statutory filing not certified.
Yes, no, absolutely. As well as when I look at
Jamaica, in her speech, she was lining out multiple corruption. Sharon, me always tired, because I'm not getting enough sleep. But we may assess still. And that chair, I want a lazy chair too. When you're not tired, you make you want, them way there? Yeah, that chair, I want a lazy chair. But anyway, she outlined a lot of, corruption that was linked and even mentions of possible corruption that was linked to even the Speaker of the House and the husband, of course, because I feel named in everything. You feel me? I said, Mr. Ponzi Scheme Hopper. Yeah. SSL, everything, Him just hop from Ponzi scheme to Ponzi scheme in one period. I do one video upon that today on my TikTok. Zin? Yeah. So, excuse me. This is one of the realities why I strongly believe that they came after her. After that, because she was nailing them in the coffin, ladies and gentlemen, with the truth, and really showing why the Narra bill is dangerous in its current form with these types of people behind the powers and their antecedents the way it is. When them name are called up in so much different things, the potential of corruption and crime, me I talk about blatant crime, is insanely high, ladies and gentlemen. You can smell it, you can see it, you can taste it if you want to do that. You can just feel it in the ears, like it have a presence in this bill, the level of corruption. The Narra bill, it have a presence of corruption that's heavy.
At things like the certification of construction, for example, and Narra now can
Were you pointing? Were you insinuating something about the Speaker of the House when you said people were flagged for building?
Listen, I was referring to every single one of them whose name appeared on anything around that, and she is included, so I was not excluding her at all because her name was one of those called. And so when you see these transgressions, where their names have been called, when you see how they have dealt with those, then it says to you that they are not serious in combating these kinds of acts. And therefore, when they bring a bill that is so wide, so open, with very few accountability mechanisms, you have to wonder what is the thought behind it and what to expect. And so that really was my issue with it. And I honestly believe that part of why she went off as she did was because I had named out a number of corrupt acts in which they were involved and said I didn't trust them to be able to have such broad sweeping powers and with no guardrails. And that still is my thought.
Like a lot of Jamaicans, so you believe this Narra bill is basically legislating corruption?
I really believe that it has the potential to do that. And that is one of my concerns. I know it is a concern of many others as well, without putting in place some mechanism that puts a heart on it, shines a light on it, so that you're able to question and to go in and get the information and just ask questions.
Derval, big up. Me have to play that back. We're not gonna just slide past what she just said a while ago. You see what I do?
They bring a bill that is so wide, so open, with very few accountability mechanisms. You have to wonder what is the thought behind it and what to expect. And so that really was my issue with it. And I honestly believe that part of why she went off as she did was because I had named out a number of corrupt acts in which they were involved and said I didn't trust them to be able to have such broad sweeping powers and with no guardrails. And it still is my thought.
Like a lot of Jamaicans, so you believe this Narra bill is basically legislating corruption?
I really believe that it has the potential to do that. And that is one of my concerns. I know it is a concern of many others as well, without putting in place some mechanism that puts a heart on it, shines a light on it, so that you're able to question and to go in and get the information and just ask questions.
You are the Shadow Minister on Social Protection and Social Transformation.
Yes.
Yesterday, Friday, was the 8th day of May, was the day that the Minister of Local Government said that all shelteries will be moved out of our schools. Was that done, and are you satisfied with what was done?
I get it was done, by the way, but I'm not satisfied from what I've seen. Quite frankly, I start with the fact that I was very disappointed that the minister would not have continued working, I want to say privately, to find a solution. Because we all know that those who were left in these shelters are individuals who would have nowhere else to go or can't afford anywhere else to go. And so I would have expected that he would have worked a little harder to try and find a solution that made sense for them. The fact that they had that hard deadline to move, I don't think they've been satisfied. But certainly I think I saw MP Vaz commenting that he had gone to look at the shelter where they were moved to, and that he wasn't pleased with what he had seen. And since I haven't had a chance to visit, I have to take his word for it that it is less than adequate. And honestly, these are the things we would have wanted to see in the Narra bill. You know,
But
there's nothing about housing and that kind of destruction is probably the biggest challenge for so many Jamaicans post Melissa. And it is nowhere near, it is nowhere there. Nowhere.
The biggest problem after Hurricane Melissa is not written in the bill as an objective, ladies and gentlemen. Just let that sink in. And then you have individuals with all these sweeping powers that names have been called in different Auditor General reports and Integrity Commission reports, different breaches and stuff like that. That is a part of the Jamaica Labour Party. How can you trust them, even the heads? How can you trust them to have these types of powers and not abuse them? Literally, it is giving puss butter for carry. For all of the grassroots Jamaican them, this bill is giving puss butter for carry. And I rub butter puss mouth. When you think rat love cheese, try peanut butter. If you don't think rat love cheese, try peanut butter. This is like rubbing peanut butter or rat mouth. But who is going to get a rat and rub peanut butter them? Well, that's what just happened, ladies and gentlemen. The rats them in the dark and laugh right now and I wait. And I say, no, we legally can be criminals. No, we legally can thief money. And don't go to prison. I saw them there lurking in the dark, ladies and gentlemen. With this Narra bill. Yes! And then want you to be a 9-day wonder, but no! We're not going to make that happen. You're mad? You're mad?
so, Madam Chairman, the people in the West, mostly, but it's not just in the West. Let's not let people believe that it was only people in the West that got hit by Melissa. Right here in Portland, a lot of people got damaged. The roofs program gave 75, 200, and 500,000. 500,000 to somebody who has lost their house totally. What are your views on that output from the government?
Do you know when MP David Campbell spoke of it, saying that 500,000 really can't rebuild a house, and that he would have thought that the government would have been looking at doing more. Most of the members on the government benches started almost screaming and saying that they are not required to rebuild the house totally and that kind of a thing. But there is a truth. While I was in Parliament, someone sent me a note from a 70-year-old man who had been working all his life. He had retired. He had a nice house that he was living in, comfortable, receiving a pension. I mean, it can't do all, but he was managing. And his cry was simply, he does not know what to do at this point, because at 70 years old, he has lost everything. He has to start again. He does not have the finances to be able to build a house anywhere near what he had. He doesn't have the resources to build a house at all. And $500,000 is not going to do it. And so the truth is that I believe that the government has missed the mark about the real need of the victims of Hurricane Melissa and what is required. Not even to get them back to where they were, but just to get them to a point where they can reasonably stand even halfway and take the rest by themselves.
Jamaica is a signatory to, I think, 2 or 3 UN agreement that our people should have adequate shelter. What does that say to people who are saying that the government is not required to build back nobody else?
It's because, one, they have a house that they're living in.
Yes.
And at their core, they don't really care about anybody else.
Ooh, come on now. Come on now. All of these people, what's up, Heaven Sent? All of these people on the internet, whether they are from the Jamaica Labour Party, official government or supporters, that come out and say that the government is not responsible for building people's house. Listen to the truth of the matter. Why them say it?
2 or 3 UN agreement that our people should have adequate shelter. What does that say to people who are saying that the government is not required to build back nobody else?
So we sign things with the UN. And it's not just for face value. You sign these agreements. The government is supposed to operate in that way. Listen to what he said about the UN again, ladies and gentlemen.
Point where they can reasonably stand even halfway and take the rest by themselves.
Jamaica is a signatory to, I think, 2 or 3 UN agreement that our people should have adequate shelter. What does that say to...
The people should have adequate shelter. It's a commitment, a signed commitment. So after Hurricane Melissa, how much people are still without adequate shelter? And what is the government doing about it? And then you have these people saying this.
People who are saying that the government is not required to build back nobody else.
It's because one, they have a house that they're living in, and at their core, they don't really care about anybody. Yes. Because that's
Selfish. She's accurate. It's because I say that all the time. You people out there that defend the government, you guys are evil, bro. I have a roof over my head, thank God. But I come on here and I am advocating on behalf of the people that don't. I'm calling out the government for clearly not caring for the people. They just try to do enough club social to make it appear as if they care. But at the core, in terms of the results and the timeline and urgency, you hear them talking about urgency and Narra bill. Listen, there's no care for the people in the Narra bill and their lived realities. Kemisha, what's up? There's no care. Michelle, Wagwan.
That's the only way I can see. Because even if you are living in a house and you're covered and you're okay and all your children are okay, you have put yourself in a position as leadership of the country to know that you have to consider everybody. Yes? When you go down, when you pass in the countryside, you see persons with a tarpaulin. They said over their house. But some don't even have a house over which the tarpaulin is. Some of them have literally 4 little posts that them catch up, and the tarpaulin is over that, and that is their house. So I think that government misses what is their responsibility and what they could do to ensure that it's easier for persons to build a little something that they could shelter in.
A question from the chat room, back to the Narra.
Yeah.
If the government passes the Narra bill, which we know they have the ability to do, it needs a simple majority in both houses of the parliament. If they pass it, will the PNP take them to court on aspects of this bill?
Listen.
All of those are things that we are discussing in terms of options. So, and you are right, we believe, like you do, that they will pass it. So we are looking at what our options are to ensure that we continue.
They have passed it, ladies and gentlemen. Have they? They believe that they will pass it. Yeah. I think they have.
Notified on behalf of Jamaican people.
The public at large, Comrade Chairman, from time to time criticizes the opposition, saying that the opposition is not vociferous enough in the parliament, we are not strident enough, and stuff like that. How do you plead?
I know. Can I tell you, I know that Jamaicans want to see us fighting a little bit more. We do. I think sometimes you have to moderate, how we oppose. We oppose by gently stating, we oppose a little bit more vociferously, a little bit more vigorously. Dana is also taking the Minister of Education to court. So we have taken them before on the NIDS bill, on the SOE. So those are other ways in which we have done. I think when I hear people talk, I think they want to see us on the street demonstrating.
Some people are calling for that, Comrade.
No, that's what I'm saying. I know. I think that is what they want to see. And there will, I am sure, the times when we are going to do that. We haven't taken that off the table as part of the arsenal in how we make our points be heard. We're just exploring all options, and we are in the parliament. That's how we have been trying to use the parliament as well to make the points. As you can see, sometimes we get nowhere with that because there is a majority, and they believe that because there's a majority, there's no reason to listen to the minority, which doesn't make sense because we're all there in the discussion to make sure we have better data.
It don't even make sense because there are 19% of the minority of Jamaicans that voted. They got 19% of 30, I think, 39%. No. Yes. No. It was less than, I think it's 37%. Yeah. 37% of the people that voted, they got 19% of the 13%. of the 37%, sorry. So, what majority?
There in the discussion to make sure we have better bills. And we have seen those few occasions, depending on who the minister has been, when they have listened and taken the advice that we have given, that it has been, better. And we have seen the cases we have taken to court that we were right. So we continue to advocate, and we continue to explore all avenues. And just to say to Jamaicans, we have taken nothing off the table in terms of what our options are for making the points that we want to make.
Yeah.
My final question to you, and then I'll give you an opportunity to basically speak to Jamaica and the world on whatever issue you want to speak to them. The court made a ruling last week before last, I think last week, as it relates to mining in the Dry Harbor Mountain with this whole Bengal agreement.
Yes.
It was an issue where NEPA and Forestry turned down the license, gave solid reasons from our technical people, and it was overturned by the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, signed off on by the Prime Minister of Jamaica. The fact that the Prime Minister in the Narra bill has stepping orders to do exactly the same thing that he did that the court found unconstitutional, does that gives the opposition and civil society, because some people believe that it is the opposition alone is calling out for this bill to go to a joint select and have more safeguards. Does this give you stronger footing, and how will you use this information to really call the government to listen?
It does.
And to do something?
It certainly strengthens our hand in terms of the points we were making. And it's clear that we were asking the correct. And you're right. We are not the only ones doing it either. And we're not doing it. It's not that we came together and discussed it and said, okay, you said that, you said it. No. Looking at the bill, these were glaring gaps that we saw and that we thought needed fixing. So you're right. The stepping orders are problematic, which is the point that we were making in Parliament. And the ruling in the Bengal case shows that the court agrees with us as well. In fact, a responsive government would have looked now to see how they tweak the stepping orders, right? So that it would then be in keeping with the ruling of the court. I have not seen or heard them saying anything around that, so we'll see. But certainly what that means is that we have to continue to be vigilant to ensure that our constitutional rights are not being abridged, to make sure that there's no overreach, no overstepping of the government in terms of activities like these. And so I think it's a really important case, and important for us to always keep it in mind and to always be vigilant and watchful.
I did say the last question, but based on this discussion, if the Narra bill is passed and the government does something like what they did in the Bengal issue, does the citizens have an opportunity to take it to court, or that is it because the Narra would have legislated that in law?
They would have, but my thinking is, and I'm not a lawyer, but my thinking is that although Narra has legislated it, the fact that many of us were saying, well, that is in contravention of these other areas, mean that there is a case to be argued. Also, the right that is being protected is not just the action of the agencies. Remember, the agencies are acting in protection of some basic rights, right? So ecocide is a big thing these days in terms of climate change and how we deal with Mother Earth, that's what we want to say, and so on. And so there are some basic rights that are guaranteed and protection that we expect from a state. So when the state violates that, then it becomes a problem. And I believe that it will not prevent us from taking those matters to court.
What are your views on the government appealing this ruling?
Good afternoon.
Can I tell you, sometimes I wonder about who is advising the government.
Because
sometimes there are some cases that I believe that for you to appeal those says something about who you are as a government and your willingness and your commitment to defend some inalienable rights of the Jamaican people. Yeah? And this is one of those because what I would have expected them to do is to go back to the drawing board and look at exactly what rights were abridged and to say, okay, how do we fix that?
Simple.
Yes? Rather than going to court. In fact, if they lose, whoever takes it to court should pay the money and not the taxpayers.
Yeah.
For their legal fees.
You as parliamentarian.
I love that woman one more time. Extreme beauty we are dealing with. We don't have much time.
You don't have much time. I'm say I come go and chill over here until a
No.
certain amount of time. Okay.
Let me see.
But
Hold on there. Let me check
I
something.
have been uttering this, that though the government passed the bill, right? If there's anything while carrying out the operations of Narra or the projects under which they will be authorized, right? If any of those actions seeks to undermine or violate the constitution of the people where protection is concerned, there will be a problem.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple.
Plain and simple. Plain and
It's
simple.
plain.
But then people say this is NIDS 2.0 and
The state has an obligation to protect us.
yes.
And that is why the instance where the case with the NEPA ruling,
Perfect timing.
that would have been the argument.
Perfect timing. That ruling was the perfect
we
timing.
rely on the environment to survive as human beings.
Exactly.
And so does our indigenous animals and whatever it is that they are a part of the environment and they are to be protected as much as we do. When you analyze about a specific species of then we become vulnerable, more vulnerable. So that in itself is like an attack on us, an attempt.
It's definitely, you're absolutely right, man. And what you said a while ago about the taxpayers should not be paying for this appeal, I totally agree with her. It's an abuse of our tax dollars for you to appeal something that is protecting us. Andrew Owen should take it out of his own pocket to appeal the court where the Bengal ruling is concerned. It shouldn't be us. It's a damn shame. They need to do something when there's so many things. You know what? I think this is a learning period for Jamaica. And this government is giving us a full tenure of what government should not be able to do. But they are, and have us think about what it is that the next government that comes in needs to do to make sure it never happens again. Just like what happened with our economy, and they had to put the law in place to make sure that the debt to GDP is and the debt is always at a level through law. The amount of, and I'm saying Mark Gonin is the perfect man for the job as the most successful legislator ever in Jamaica. What one vibes?
You said that Bengal thing that the government is seeking to appeal the decision of the court?
Yeah, they have, yes. What do you mean no sound, Patrick? What do you mean no sound? You're not hearing me? Them appeal, they are saying that the magistrates to come out and say they are going to appeal it. Are we there? Are we there?
Oh, wow.
That was like maybe 3 days or 2 days after or something like that, I believe.
But what is they haven't appealed as yet, so we don't know what is the argument that they are going to come with.
No matter what argument they come with, a nonsense.
The most important thing is to protect us. The most important thing is to protect us. Right? And again, I'm going to repeat it. We depend on the environment to survive.
Yep.
And the environment also depends on us to survive.
Yes, it's a reciprocated process.
Has their purpose. Right?
I want to play.
It's a reason why we have animals and and mammals, different kind of herbivores and omnivores and herbivores. It's the reason why we have all of those.
Yeah.
You understand? So when you seek to erase, when you seek to, and yesterday I learned that mongoose used to be not so popular in certain areas, and because of the interference of them in their natural habitat, they themselves had to relocate and start feeding, because where their normal habitat would have been, it was interfered with, and now they have to seek other areas to survive, and they have to seek to eat other items, which is not normally something that they would have eaten.
Right.
So that in itself is what is going to happen.
Right, may I tell you? May I search for the clip with the environmentalist lady.
I said the Jamaican people, them some of them are the most illiterate set of people. Them lack understanding Bolo. They don't have no comprehension skill. They not think critically, and it seems as though they put Andrew Wholeness. It's not even the party, is Andrew Wholeness.
Yes, it's the worshipping of a man.
Anything.
Yeah.
And that to me is a sin, because you're basically worshipping.
No, it's not to you.
The Bible says that they don't believe in a God.
No, it's not to you. The Bible says it's a sin. It's not. This is not your perspective, This is the facts. It is a sin. So we don't want nobody feel like say because extremists say it, why is a sin? No, it is a sin.
You're kind of going in and out. You're not so clear.
Yeah, hear me now? Can you hear me? I don't understand. Yeah. Hold on, I come out and come back. Something wrong. Something wrong. Like, they might block my sound from what you know. Yeah, hear me now? You guys hearing me now? My check, 1 2 1 2. We're good? Why them really attack my device then? What they call it? Pegasus? I wish you there. Our extreme there. Them really attack my device them, yeah? Wow. Yes. What I was saying, yeah, hear me now?
Yeah, clearly.
What I was saying is that it's not extreme saying it. The word of God states that it is a sin. God is a jealous God. God don't want you to worship nobody else but Him. Right? And when you look at it, it's not just Andrew Wallace. You see this thing called super fan of celebrities, and when celebrities are come, like, just an example, I'm not throwing any shade at anybody. Like I Show Speed. Yes, like I Show Speed. Yo, if Jesus, he come right now, If Jesus, he come right now, in a humble farm that he came, before, Nobody want to pay no mind, This a society, They want to look upon him.
No.
You understand? So, yeah. Wait, Mr. Gonzalez.
It is a disgrace. It is a disgrace.
Yeah. Hold on.
Not even.
Sorry.
Not even the members who we elected to go to parliament on both sides. The governing party, their members are given far way more latitude to speak in parliament. Right? They're not making a representation on their constituencies' behalf, It's just the ministers who you hear speak on specific issues or the issues where the ministry is concerned. They're not even making representation, and the ones who are not ministers, you don't hear them in parliament. While the opposition members, right, who is sitting in the parliament to represent the people, to speak up on our behalf. We are speaking through them.
Yeah,
We're
because
speaking through them.
yeah, because they listen.
And you're telling me that you're going to shut up You're going to shut up the 9,000 and the 10,000 and the 5 and the 8 and the 6,000 people in each constituency that voted for these people. That in itself is a disrespect to our constitution.
Yeah, it's a violation. It's a violation.
It is a disrespect. And then you have the little jing bang them out here a cheerlead as if it is something good. How would you feel as a wife or a husband in your house where your wife just seek to take control and why you say nothing at all? How would you feel as a wife in a house where your husband just take control and you have no mouth? You can't talk. Right? We have 165,000 new voters that went on the voters list. And the effort that the Prime Minister, because if you realize a lot of time he's out with his team touring the entire nation, and corner, and only managed to garner 4,000 new votes when compared to the last election versus a Mark Golding who had a total different approach, garnered 95,000 new votes after 165, and you call yourself a winner. I would be ashamed of myself.
They're not ashamed, no. They're just not sure it.
I would be ashamed, and that is why they couldn't celebrate. They cannot. They're so bitter. They are the bitter ones. But yet still, because of the whooping what they get.
They show them bitterness every time they talk about September 3rd.
Because of the whooping, because I would be ashamed to tour the entire island of Jamaica only out of 165 new votes on the voters list. Me only get 4,000 add.
Yeah.
Versus my opponent will lose to me and get 95,000 new votes.
Yeah. Yeah.
More than how much percent increase?
It shows you the tide is shifting. That's what it shows you.
It is, and what I am more saddened about is not the loss. It's not the loss. So when a lot of them come up here and talk about, uno can't get over September 3rd. No. It's how a man who only garnered 4,000 votes managed to cross the line over a man who garnered 95,000 votes. Something is seriously wrong. Something gotta be wrong.
It's quite clear.
I'm more than vexed. I know say my opponent, and that is what they are expressing. That's why regardless of the win and then sitting on the government side, they are upset with the PNP because we did a far way better job than them. Far way better job.
Yeah, remember say
the people have really spoken.
Yeah, remember say even Queen of the South constituency. Such man will not go like him at MPC, man.
The people have spoken.
You not hear me?
Like them would have gone right back to the drawing board and try to think what is wrong inside the parliament.
You not hear me?
Them get up and then talk about it. You kind of going in and out again, but you're a little bit more clearer than before.
Probably I hear a mic, you know, man. Probably I hear a mic I problem. I hear a mic I problem.
I hear you now.
May I say I hear a mic I problem? Probably I have to mute make me talk. I hear a mic loud. You know. People don't can hear me good now. Our voice too powerful. Mighty God. You can hear me good now? Talk to me. No, Ivan, I'm talking to the people on YouTube. I am looking for the video of the environmentalist and what she said. But for some strange reason, I am not able to find it. It's very strange. Very, very strange indeed. Yeah, it's very strange. And she's pretty much on the thumbnail, so I know who she is. So I don't understand what's going on here. When was the ruling again? Maybe I need to dig a little deeper. When was the ruling again? Which day was the ruling of the Constitutional Court? And when was the when did they say they are going to challenge it? They are going to challenge the ruling. In extreme drop off. Ah, Jesus. This is why, you know, some have to move for that place to lock. God have mercy. I'm going to catch one place, you know. But they want to play this before me leave. Sure. Wait there, man. Let me see. Maybe it's here on one of my live streams. Can't play it from a live stream. Did I have her up on the picture on any one of these thumbnails? No, I didn't. Damn. Damn. Not even power. Oh, yes. I did a small video on TikTok about it. Let me see if I can find that. There's a TikTok video with her. Guys, can you get out Devon to hear somebody hear me? Easy. Jesus. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Listen to this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, my Jamaican people, y'all gotta stick around for this one. Shout out to the environmentalist, Miss Wendy Lee. She just exposed the Prime Minister. Real talk. I ain't capping. Ain't no cap in my rap. Listen to this.
An appeal must prove that the judges are wrong on either the facts or the law. In this case, it would also have to prove that the government's own experts are also wrong. The Honorable Prime Minister needs to stop telling us that he cares about the environment and how much the government is doing to protect the environment. If his actions are the opposite of his words, that is called greenwashing. I suggest that he look at the overwhelming positive public response to this ruling and ask himself whether Jamaicans really want to see their taxes spent on fighting against their constitutional rights to a healthy environment.
Damn!
Embarrassing! He needs some milk! Embarrassing! He needs some milk!
Yo, she said greenwashing. What is greenwash? Ladies and gentlemen, greenwashing is the deceptive marketing tactic of portraying a company, product, or service as more environmentally friendly than it actually is. To capitalize on eco-conscious consumer demand. It involves misleading labels and vague language. Oh, she calling you a deceiver, sir. We gonna play the...
An appeal must prove that the judges are wrong on either the facts or the law. In this case, it would also have to prove that the government's own experts are also wrong. The Honorable Prime Minister needs to stop telling us that he cares about the environment and how much the government is doing to protect the environment. If his actions are the opposite of his words, that is called greenwashing.
Deception, ladies and gentlemen. Greenwashing. Greenwashing is the deceptive marketing tactic of portraying a company, which is the JLP, of being more environmentally friendly than it actually is. Capitalizing on the eco-conscious consumer demand. Andrew Owens, an environmentalist, has found you to be a deceiver. Eli, what that song they go?
Embarrassing! He needs some milk!
Boy, I tell you, boy. Boy, hey, Andrew. Listen, I can't even make this up. Man, you are getting exposed out here, man. It is a beautiful thing when people start opening up their eyes. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, my Jamaican people, y'all gotta stick around for this one. Shout out to the environmentalist, Miss Wendy Lee. She just exposed the Prime Minister. Real talk. I ain't capping. Ain't no cap in my rap. Listen to this.
An appeal must prove that the judges are wrong on either the facts or the law. In this case, it would also have to prove that the government's own experts are also wrong. The Honorable Prime Minister needs to stop telling us that he cares about the environment and how much the government is doing to protect the environment. If his actions are the opposite of his words, that is called greenwashing. I suggest that he look at the overwhelming positive public response to this ruling and ask himself whether Jamaicans really want to see their taxes spent on fighting against their constitutional rights to a healthy environment.
From Island Islands.
Embarrassing! We need some milk! Embarrassing! We need some milk!
Yo, she said greenwashing. What is greenwashing? Ladies and gentlemen, greenwashing is the deceptive marketing tactic of portraying a company, product, or service as more environmentally friendly than it actually is. To capitalize on eco-conscious consumer demand. It involves misleading labels and vague language. Oh, she calling you a deceiver, sir. We gonna play the...
An appeal must prove that the judges are wrong on either the facts or the law. In this case, it would also have to prove that the government's own experts are also wrong. The Honorable Prime Minister needs to stop telling us that he cares about the environment and how much the government is doing to protect the environment. If his actions are the opposite of his words, that is called greenwashing. I said...
Deception, ladies and gentlemen. Greenwashing. Greenwashing is the deceptive marketing tactic of portraying a company, which is the JLP, of being more environmentally friendly than it actually is. Capitalizing on the eco-conscious consumer demand. Andrew Owens, an environmentalist, has found you to be a deceiver. Eli, what that song they go?
Embarrassing! We need some milk!
Boy, I tell you, boy. Boy, hey, Andrew. Listen, I can't even make this up. Man, you are getting exposed out here, man. It is a beautiful thing when people start opening up their eyes. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, my Jamaican people. Yes, so yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there, guys. I gotta step to the step to the step to the step. I really wanted to find it, but I'm having difficulty finding it. Yeah, I'm having difficulty finding it, guys. I don't know why her picture is not on the thumbnail. I don't know if they changed the thumbnail or what, but Ramar the Lion, he's the one that covered the piece. Petro Jam, that's not it. Protest here. Protest there. Sports. Yeah. People protesting for water. Reconstruction in Black River. Situation with the children on the boat. All of that, I'm seeing that, but I'm not seeing the interview with the environmentalists. Very unfortunate. I don't know if they took it down. I don't know. Why would they though? I don't know why why would they do that? Let me see if I think somebody sent it in our group another time. If they don't have it up, I think I'll have to. Yeah, I think I'll have to just post it on my page. Yeah, I think I'll have to do that. It's too important. What you said, it's too important. Yeah, man, somebody sent it to me, man. Somebody sent me the TVJ clip. of the conversation. I don't know. Un momento. You see me? Hey, me determined body though. I'm searching for this one video right now. I think this is it. Opposition spokes a question house impartiality. No. That's not the one. That is not the one. That's not the one at all. Did you guys see the hospital that the rain was falling in? Did you guys see that? I was like, what the? Boy, this country, boy, this government, man, man, listen. Terrible. Miss Wendy Lee, man. Miss Wendy Lee, me I tell you, me have to look for this thing. I know, say, Miss lady, the interview never finished. I'm there, I look for this, we can just play that and listen same time. Yeah, our interview never done.
As parliamentarian, all parliamentarians took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of Jamaica. When you have a prime minister who have lost so many constitutional cases, what does that say of the leadership and the oath that was taken by the prime minister and the members of parliament on that side?
You know, that's an excellent question, because we are all sworn, yes, to uphold the law and the Constitution as the primary amongst those. The fact that the prime minister has been taken to court on so many constitutional issues, many of which he has actually lost, tells you that he has no respect for the Constitution. And I'm not even sure if he fully understands the constitutional rights that are enshrined there. Yeah. What I find disconcerting, though, is that his own members took him to court on a matter because it affected them. Yes.
And they won.
And they won, and I'm glad for that. But that should also be a signal to them to say they should not just be looking out for themselves and to protect their constitutional rights, but they also have a duty to protect the constitutional rights of all Jamaicans. And so when they sit in the quarters that they do and the decisions are being made, they should make sure that the constitutional rights of all Jamaicans, that those rights are being protected.
Comrade Chairman,
it can depend on the Prime Minister to do it.
Let me thank you for being with us this morning. Anything you want to add finally before you go?
Oh, you know, I was having an interesting discussion. I think May is Child Month. I was having an interesting discussion yesterday, just talking about what has been happening to some of our children in the post-minister period and all of that. And the conversation I was having with this individual is really about what we're finding in our schools and elsewhere about our children. So I want us to use the month of May, Child Month, to really look out for our children, to really talk to them, you know, show them love, hug them, yeah? Let them understand who is there for them, show them that you care. For family members, I want you to just pay some attention, listen to them. Some of them are going through so much trauma. Yeah, the issues that a lot of teachers have been saying to me, for example, is that sometimes we have children with disabilities. And sometimes, especially that is autism or anywhere on the spectrum, sometimes parents don't know what is causing. And, you know, in our culture, all you know is they're not listening. And because they're not listening, it's beating time. But spend some time getting to know your child, getting to understand, you know, when you see a particular behavior, what does that mean? If you're not sure, if you're concerned, reach out. You have your guidance counselors, you know, you have church and you have counselors in our churches and so on. Reach out to them. I'm just making an appeal to look out a little bit more deliberately for our children so that we can help them in this period. I was also looking at this one. If you go by all of the warnings about food and food safety and what we have been eating, what we have been consuming, that is not good for us. I just want us to take care of us and, more importantly, take care of our children, right? Who are the foundation of who we will be in the next 10 to 50 years.
Mm-hmm. Chairman Angela Brown Burke, I want to thank you this morning for being with us and taking the time out to explain to my listeners and viewers all that has been happening in the Parliament and some of the things that we miss watching on TV and don't hear. And of course, I want to thank you for your service. and ask you to continue to do the good work. Some people in the chat room, they are now referring to you as warrior queen.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for having me and giving me an opportunity to speak. And to all of your listeners, those in the chat room, and to all of those who have sent encouraging messages to me. I don't take this for granted. I am inspired by you, and I know exactly what it is you're feeling and asking of us. And we will hold that banner high. That comes what may, we will be protecting the rights of the Jamaican people. And we are here to pass good laws, and we are going to make sure that we do our part in doing that. Bless you all.
Comrade Chairman, thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Wonderful interview. Colin Bell did an excellent job as usual in hitting the core questions, you know. A lady had called in and she wanted to have the opportunity to call in and ask questions, you know, but you know. One next time for that, you know. It never happened this time. You know, the lady was very upset, you know, I tell you no lie. I was like, wow, okay. Speak your truth, mama. That's all I could do, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know, that's what it is when it comes as a servant, you know. Wow, somebody passed. Post 8 or whatever. You know, I find it interesting that I can't find the clip. I find it very interesting I can't find the clip. Yeah, I cannot find the clip with the lady. And I literally yeah, what I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very concerned that I cannot find this clip with the environmentalists to the point where I won't be able to catch it. I really want to find this clip, you know. It is my sole duty to find this clip. Therefore, I have the clip with the environmentalists. Send it to me now, please and thanks. Send it to me per WhatsApp. I want the full interview. Send it to me. It's too important, man. What she said, the whole interview. And I could have sworn I saw the Gleaner put it out. I could have, man. It's not just TVJ. I think I saw the CV and put it out as well. I'm scrolling though. I'm scrolling to see because, you know, Tensions, Kingston, any video at all that they have posted. Okay. Shout out to Miss Janet Cardler though for what she's doing at Jump. It's persons like those that don't get the encouragement but they still do what they do. You know, even when nobody is listening, they still shout and say, yo, wake up, wake up. The consistency, I'm telling you. Watch man, watch it, you know. I want to thank her so much for that. Derval, you send it already? Send it right now. I know me didn't mean it, you know. Hope you look for it. Yeah, man. Me still a scroll Jamaica. Still scrolling, still looking. Again, make sure to subscribe to can't be so far though. Because the actual article that came out that the Constitutional Court decided that it was unconstitutional what the government did. That happened a certain time, and then after that, we would have seen, after that ruling, seen catching policeman to unalive the timeline, Brown Burke, mobile carry come illegal, what? Oh, that Christopher Tufton. Why me I tell you, hey, Jamaica just idle and just, why me I tell you, man? Correctional officer assaulted, Nepa, Windalco, all these are in the news. Path lunches, illegal. So much something. Oh. When I get to 50K yet, why my side I treat me bad pon this out there, boy. My side do not treat me bad pon this out there, my side. My side I treat me bad pon this out there. I think it's around the time when Leslie Campbell had passed. Yeah. Around the same time the court ruling had taken place. Almost simultaneously. So here's the environmentalist, former public environmentalist Hales Bengal mining ruling. Alright. So yes, that's important. So it's further down. I just want to get the date when the ruling had passed. Really, and it wasn't 2 weeks ago. No, sir. The way you make me feel down deep in my soul. See there. This was April 30th. Today is what? The 9th? So it was 9 days ago. And of course, anywhere between that is when the appeal argument came up. Yeah, anywhere between that is where the appeal argument came up. So let me just take another look, check these dates, and find this thing. The river look like it's still a search. So I'm gonna search too. This was 4 days ago, okay. Can't go back some more then. Because it would have been more than that. Then we can't start the process. Alright, so May 1st, awesome. Around the time that there was a controversy in the parliament, here we go. Yeah, so Janet called her. I mean, if you explore some other interview or highlight them conversation. I didn't see that interview on CV, you know. Wild duck hunting. One truck turnover a spur tree hill 4 days ago. I truck them a turn over on the road them, man. I one situation happened in Center, I believe. A water truck. Horace, big up yourself. The board of the university government is ramping up surveillance. 3 days ago. Oh, which interview this? Oh. Whoa. Okay. So I didn't see it on either CVM or the other one. My last check will be TVJ on Twitter. Hopefully, Derval will find it and send it to me. TVJ. Tell it, okay, no, come on for that. So TVJ is not on Twitter? Wow. Only for Instagram. Let me try Instagram. 37K. And it look like I reached 50,000 today after. I should have been gone already and we haven't heard that even close. Ugh. What we need? 13,000 more likes? Yeah, this chair literally makes you get sleepy. Now stop slinging at that chair. Let me get sleepy with you, man. I don't want to sleep. Too relaxing, you see it? Oh, I wanna be a man. May I scroll through now? DVJ find the best picture for Christopher Tufton. Let me thief down there. Screenshot that. Man. Oh my God, what is this? 2-year-old dying car crash. Candles. TAJ, Greater Portmore. Whoa. Greater Portmore suspends path lunch. Oh, this was the day it happened. And then they come out and sugar farmers. Why them do sugar farmer them body, man? 1,000 acre land, brother. One brother have, and him not have no foot. The whole of him cane. Oh my God. Him lose one of him foot them. Sorry, I keep saying he don't have no foot. He lost one of his foot. I think he's close to 80 if he's not 80 plus. Close to 80, you know? Poor man. Well, wait a minute. Some come to me a while ago. Shamela Pullen. Sounds like an Indian name. Shamela Pullen. Hey, me not lie, still in Jamaica. If me not go live tonight, nobody not surprised, you know. I'm dropping a video every 2 hours, bro. Especially, I haven't been live today. I'm trying to figure out, bro.
The part.
The shot stop. When persons were moving, and
In parity, the people,
we the signs were always there. I wasn't.
Quality of the interpretation of the law would be.
You know what I noticed? Some funny business going on and I feel like a Pegasus never used to train. I'm telling you. I kid you not. I feel like them I use Pegasus, bro. Yeah, I feel like they're using Pegasus. For you to get and views them this.
And you're going to look for
You to have the evidence of it, and that's why we don't flower race, you know.
yesterday to leave out the fishermen and
Participants in a utility service.
DJ Black and British.
Company Limited from mining in the dry harbor areas in Discovery Bay, St. Anne. And the NRCA, you know, Minister of Agriculture then goes on whether it be their favorite radio station.
It's hard for me to do this, but I'm giving up, guys. I can't find the video. It's very strange. It's very strange. I remember finding it and I was like, what? I didn't know that she actually spoke on the issue, Miss Wendy Lee. And that's how I did the video that I did on my TikTok. And it's a good thing I documented it. Because now, it wants to look like they took down the video. You understand what I'm saying? It looks like what she said rubbed some people the wrong way. And they took down the video. I might be wrong. Maybe I'm just tired and I can't find the video, guys. Maybe that's it. So I'm going to look at TVJ one more time. Even the titles of these videos. That video was a short video that dealt with the Bengal mining project. And they even spoke up, she spoke about the government appealing it. And the lady is saying basically, well, the government has to prove that the ruling, them take it down. Derval, sure, bro. Let me see if I hit this. No, this are reselling. No, I don't hit that.
6% of GDP.
Top of nice, because it don't make no sense. It not even make half a sense to be right. But I never sit down and listen to Abka talk. Never. Swear. Only thing I do is clowning. I never looking at the sky like, I wonder if I look for one bright idea. Or something to say like, I want to try to take you out of the atmosphere. You know what I mean? I want to tell you that I don't know why that song in my mind. Long time song will say, girl, I want to be your man. $400 million. I think I hit this. Please let this be it. Please. I think this is it, Jamaica. I believe I found it. I believe I found it.
The government.
Yes, me find it. Mighty God. I think this is it, Jamaica. Where's the lady? Where is she? One, I fear. I'm find it. Now I lose this again. I was like, why would they take it down? It's there, Jamaica. It's there. Tell me something like, hey, man, I like give up, you know. See that? Huh? Hello? Hold on there. Please, I'm on the live. Oh, my favorite lady. Oh, go on. Yeah, she come here. She was taking one of those nice naps. Yes, she was. Okay, guys, here's the audio. Let me turn it down a little bit. Barely. All right, so here's the first portion of what she's. Let me just play the whole thing.
The government has indicated that it will appeal the Constitutional Court ruling in the recent Bengal mining permit case. Information Minister Dr. Dana Morris Dixon made the revelation at today's post-cabinet press briefing.
Environmentalists have been celebrating the landmark ruling, which has been in the Constitutional Court for some time now. Advocate Wendy Lee was among the claimants.
This ruling confirms that Jamaicans have a constitutional right to enjoy a healthy and productive environment, free from the threat of injury or damage from environmental abuse and degradation of the ecological heritage. Apart from the huge relief felt by all the claimants and other residents whose health and livelihoods would have been affected by a quarry and crushing plant, the significance of the ruling for me is how it will affect environmental decision-making going forward. This case shows that it's not enough to go through the motions of an EIA process and then allow environmental destruction. Any decision to allow development must be rational and justified in the context of the government's obligations to protect the environment and ecological heritage.
The three-judge panel ruled that the 2020 environmental permit issued for mining in the Dry Harbor Mountains in St. Anne was unconstitutional. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness used his ministerial powers in 2020 to overturn a ruling by the Natural Resources Conservation Authority, NRCA, which had initially rejected Bengal Development Company's mining application. Citizens then sought redress in the Constitutional Court, but the fight to protect the Dry Harbor Mountain appears to be far from over. Information Minister Dr. Dana Morris Dixon at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing.
It is my understanding that the Attorney General's chambers, they will be appealing. That's my understanding. In terms of timeline on that, I can find that out and get that back to you. In terms of the implications of it, we've not been able to go through, I know I personally have not gone through the full judgment, and that's not been brought to cabinet for us to look at what are the implications coming from it. But what I do understand is that from my discussions with the Attorney General is that the ruling will be appealed.
Ms. Lee isn't perturbed.
An appeal must prove that the judges are wrong on either the facts or the law. In this case, it would also have to prove that the government's own experts are also wrong. The Honorable Prime Minister needs to stop telling us that he cares about the environment and how much the government is doing to protect the environment. If his actions are the opposite of his words, that is called greenwashing. I suggest that he look at the overwhelming positive public response to this ruling and ask himself whether Jamaicans really want to see their taxes spent on fighting against their constitutional rights to a healthy environment.
Romarda Lyons, TVJ News.
Come on, man. That's the audio I was looking for. So now I have it saved to my evidence file, so I won't lose it again. But let's play back that last part.
Coming from it, but what I do understand is that from my discussions with the Attorney General is that the ruling will be appealed.
Ms. Lee isn't perturbed.
An appeal must prove that the judges are wrong on either the facts or the law. In this case, it would also have to prove that the government's own experts are also wrong. The Honorable Prime Minister needs to stop telling us that he cares about the environment and how much the government is doing to protect the environment. If his actions are the opposite of his words, that is called greenwashing.
Wow.
I suggest that he look at the overwhelming positive public response to this ruling and ask himself whether Jamaicans really want to see their taxes spent on fighting against their constitutional rights to a healthy environment.
Romarda Lyons, TVJ News.
Boy, this lady, boy, I'm trying to tell you, she out here destroying the government with logic. Just pure logic. That's the end, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Miss what's her name? Miss Wendy Lee. One of our national heroes at this point. Greenwashing. Go look up what greenwashing is. Alright? Another deceptive ploy of the government. They got an award, you know. The government got an award, you know, for their environmental stance, you know. And look at them appealing an environmental ruling. One that clearly states the level of destruction cannot be reversed if mined in the area. My Jamaican people, I ask you to take these situations very, very seriously and pray upon what, you know, role you can play in advancing the push for real change where our government is concerned, and these individuals, and even standing behind you know, peaceful protests of this amendment, of this appeal. You know, we have to defend our environment, the ecosystem, because at the end of the day, if we don't do that, what do you guys have children? Their children's children is going to be affected negatively. These people that are in government, you know, they can run and go away to another place, you know, and go live, you know, because they have the money to do that, especially Ann Jonas with his level of wealth that cannot be explained. You understand? The large majority of us, we don't have nowhere to go, so we, the persons that are less stable or are less well off financially, we are the ones that have to come together in unity to fight against these types of things, because ultimately whatever decision that they make in government is going to affect us the most. So we have to hold them accountable, ladies and gentlemen. Raise up and raise your voice in concert. Alright? God bless you and have yourself a wonderful evening. Bye.